Trying to shatter a record for the most number of upset picks in week one. Tolos, the number is set at 150. Can we get there? Text us your name, your game, and the spread in the wire-to-wire upset picks challenge. Very simply, go to ESPN.com, find a game where you think the betting underdog will win the game outright, and then text us at 844-FAN-PHONE, 844-326-3663. Your name, the game, and the spread. You're playing for the outright win, not beating the spread. Tell us who you got here in week one of this challenge. Cole trying to hit 150. That would be huge.
Well, and we will, by the way.
We will hit it. We need about, if we want to stay on pace, we need to hit about 50, 55 picks today. So Tolos, if you haven't gotten your week one picks in yet, I know some of you are probably now starting to wait for injury reports. Maybe you're waiting for South Carolina to release their depth chart, which I don't know. I haven't checked to see if they've done it in the last hour and a half to 2 hours. But earlier in the week, Shane Beamer said, I'm not going to do it. He actually called Brent Pry and said, hey, Brent, coach, all due respect, but you get nothing from me and you're going to like it. You're not getting my lineup. So still going to wait and see on who's going to actually be starting for South Carolina here in week one. But it is not a conference game, so they don't have to disclose any injury reports, any specific information like that. So off to the races. Here we go. It's Wire to Wire with Diesel and Cole Bryson. 844-FAN-PHONE is how you can call in and text in throughout the show today. And we have a big one for you coming up in the very next segment. The States segment with Jordan Kaye of the State newspaper. We're going to talk South Carolina Gamecocks with Jordan. We also have the head coach of the Furman Paladins, Kaye Hendrix, joining us at 6:20 today. That's going to be awesome. He's going to be coming off the practice field just to take our phone call. We appreciate the time that he gives us every single week. Of course, we'll talk about this what would have been a wild story with Dawn Staley after she interviewed for the New York Knicks job, why she chose not to take it, what maybe attracted her to the job. Obviously, we know what attracts her to the job. It's a great franchise. It's a great team, and it would have been a lot of money. So that's why you take that job. But we'll get into all of it throughout the show today. Tolos, jump in the stream on Facebook, Twitter, and on YouTube. Already got 31 of you Tolos in there. JB is watching the stream, a bunch of others as well. Make sure you drop a comment. Let us know that you're listening to the show. Cole, let's get into this. We have pretty much exhaustively covered predictions and prognostications and what we think might happen in these games, what the keys to victory might be. See, like this, honestly, to me, is the worst time of year to do sports radio these last 2 or 3 days, because you've talked about it ad nauseum for the last 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 months. And like, we're right there. It's like, how many more ways can you skin a cat? Yeah. You can't. So you got to go a little off-road. You got to go a little rogue with content here. But we're about to get into actual games to talk about. As a matter of fact, we got a game kicking off at 5:30 this afternoon.
2 hours, just over 2 hours from now. Boise State, man, South Florida. I'm ready. It will be on the TVs here in the studio. We're ready. And the countdown is on, man. I love it.
Can't wait. We got a lot of Tolos getting their picks in. I see you there, play-by-play JB. RJ, he's taking UNC plus 3.5 over North Carolina. I see you there, Jacob in Spartanburg, Michael in Simpsonville, and Corn Chip as well. Appreciate you guys getting it going right out of the gate, Cole. But 2025, man, hopefully it's going to be a big year for college football, not only in some good football games, but maybe we'll see a couple of big-time records go down this season. Could it be? Do you think it's possible that we might see some records going down? And I have a big question for you in this segment. If a player balls out at a lower level and then moves up, say a guy was a monster at UConn and he transfers to Maryland, or he's a depth guy at Penn State and he transfers to Ball State, where he absolutely balls out, puts up gigantic, gaudy numbers. Should those numbers still count in the all-time college football records?
In a lower division, you're asking?
Yeah, if you put up 3 1,500 yard seasons as a running back at Ball State, and then you transfer to Michigan State for a year. Shouldn't there be like a little asterisk next to it? Like, you did it. You had some great games, but you did it against weak competition.
I think it should be broken up by level. I mean, it real simple. I mean, you can have the asterisk beside it, but whatever level of football that was played at, that's what the record was broken at. I mean, you're not adding numbers of yardage or the number of yardage from level to level. If you got 754 yards at one level, and then you moved up to another level, that's where it stopped. You no longer have 754 yards. Yeah.
Now that's interesting. And what's funny is I think program records are basically a thing of the past. Like single season records is basically the only thing that's going to matter. Nobody's going to care or nobody's going to be approaching records like the all-time passing yards at South Carolina or the all-time passing or running back yards at Clemson. I'm not trying to, bash on either one of those teams. I'm just saying we got so many transfers now that you're there for a year, maybe two. You're probably not going to approach the records that guys set back in the 90s and the 2000s when they would stick around at a school for 4 years. So Cole, some big records that could be on blast this year. Here's kind of the reason why I asked that question is Trey Moore. And you probably don't know who Trey Moore is. He's playing for the Texas Longhorns this year. He played for them last year. This is his senior season, but he was at UT San Antonio before that, where he put up a ton of sack numbers. He got a lot of sacks at UTSA, moved up to Texas last year, and obviously that fell pretty considerably. But Trey Moore has a chance to break the all-time college football sacks record set by Jalen Ferguson, another guy whose name I don't know, who had 45 career stats. And Trey Moore enters the 2025 season with 27.5 sacks, meaning he would need just a gigantic sack number this year. He would need 18 to break the record, but he had 14 in 2023 at UTSA. So he can do it. He can put up big numbers.
Yeah, and it's the same level, though, right? I mean, he's not necessarily jumping up from...
Well, I mean, it's jumping up from G5 to
and I don't have a problem
4.
with that. If it's G5 to Power 4, I consider that the same level of football, right?
Okay.
Yeah, it's G5, but like if you're going from FCS to FBS, that's where I was talking about a minute ago. There should be some kind of division line. But no, I mean, for this guy... G5, I mean, UTSA, yeah, they're not playing the SEC, no doubt, but still, what he accomplished is pretty incredible, especially if he can break that record.
So 14 in 2023, he would have to beat that by 4 at Texas. And that's, I mean, if you're at Clemson, maybe because you're playing a week schedule, week in and week out, I think it's distinctly possible that you could hit a record like that. But, going up against offensive linemen in the SEC, you ain't getting 18 sacks. Yeah. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, it's be tough.
Here's another one, Cole. Name you probably know, Jeremiah Smith, the Ohio State wide receiver. He is targeting Ohio State's single-season receiving yard record set by David Boston in 1998 at 1435, and for touchdowns set by Terry Glenn in 1995 at 17. I think Jeremiah Smith probably going to break that record this year. His freshman year last year had 1,315 yards. So all he needs is another 120 yards this season, and he breaks the receiving yards number.
That's insane.
And I had it, but I lost it here. The number of touchdowns that he scored last year, I think he has a chance to beat that as well, man, because if Julian Sayin can get him the ball, that dude's going to get it in the end zone.
That's crazy to me that it's as low, like that record. Yeah, it's impressive, but you're telling me
that's the Ohio State record.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Ohio State record. I mean, single season receiving yards. David Boston, 1998. That's who right now currently has it. Is that right?
Correct.
Single season. He had 1,401 season. So yeah, I mean, super impressive. But I'm honestly surprised that there's not any more recent guys knocking on that door. That's of course going to happen. It might happen in the first game, right? Could. 2 weeks maybe it'll take. Maybe 3 weeks is all it'll take. But no, that one will no doubt for sure happen.
I'm looking to see if there's even an Ohio State receiver anywhere near the top of the list on the national stage. The number that Jeremiah Smith needs to hit to get there is gargantuan. That number set by Trevor Inslee at Nevada in 1999 is 2,000 yards. So he's almost 700 yards away.
That is insane.
Trying to do that with a freshman quarterback. That's going to be tough.
That's tough. I mean, that's for anybody, for any receiver, 2,000 yards in one season. That's the all-time record you said across
the all-time.
That's impressive. 2,000 yards. I don't know that that'll ever be touched. I don't know that it'll ever be touched.
The receiving touchdowns mark, by the way, all-time, all of college football, it's Troy Edwards at Louisiana Tech, who received 27 touchdowns in 1998. Number 2 on that list, maybe you know this guy. His name is Randy Moss at 25.
I've heard of that name. Yeah.
So there you go. That's a very easily will break the Ohio State record. Not easily, but very possibly could break the Ohio State record this year. It's going to be tough to break any kind of a national record because I guess what's interesting is when you look at a lot of these stats, the stat leaders were at the G5 schools because the defenses were just not there, right? You had guys that had freakish offensive talent at running back, at receiver, at quarterback, and they were just better than everybody else around them. It's kind of that midway point between high school football when there's like 1 or 2, maybe 3 Division I athletes on a team every year, and Power 4, Power 5, where you're loaded with those kind of guys. Yeah. So all it took was like one really freakishly talented guy. And obviously, Randy Moss, he had to bounce around a couple of different schools before he even ended up at Marshall. It's Wire to Wire with Diesel and Cole Bryson. Keep those upset picks coming, 844-326-3663. I don't know if this one is going to get broken this year, Cole. Currently, Florida holds the lead of the total number of consecutive games where they were not shut out on the scoreboard. And you're going to say there's no way Florida has to have been shut out at some point since then. But Florida leads the country at 462 consecutive games
without being
shut out.
That's impressive.
It's crazy.
The only thing is I would like to know, I don't know if you have the second and third place behind them, but
I do.
How far behind them are those? Because that's incredible numbers.
TCU is, God, I'm bad at math here, 45 games back.
That's still not bad, though.
TCU has not been blanked in 407 games. So what does that mean as far as a date-wise? Florida has not been held scoreless since October 29th, 1988.
That's incredible. Whew. That's a lot of football games not held scoreless.
Right.
I would have never realized that.
You would think that, Florida, they've struggled the last couple of years, and they would have been held scoreless by Bama, LSU, Georgia, something like that. That's not the case. That's not the case. Yeah. Here's another one, Cole. I bet you I could give you 100 guesses, and you couldn't tell me who holds the career pass completion percentage record in college football.
Pass completion record. Yep. Is that what you said?
Yes, completed pass percentage.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
Tolos, if you think you know, text in 844-326-3663. Who currently holds, and don't Google it, don't cheat, who holds the passer completion percentage record?
Highest completion percentage ever.
I can tell you what the number is, but I won't tell you who the player is.
That won't help.
Right.
Let me throw a name out there.
Dan B, not close. JB, incorrect.
No. Let me ask you this. How recent? Not recent?
The guy just went into the NFL this year.
You're kidding me.
I had to do a double take. I had to Google this 3 times.
Jackson Dart.
No, it's not Jackson Dart. Tolos, do you know? We've got a guess of Doug Flutie
this year. Doug Flutie didn't go into the NFL this year, so that one don't count.
Yeah.
It's not Shador. It's not. Oh my God, this year.
What if I told you?
Yeah.
That it is Shador.
Oh, my God.
Shador Sanders.
Really?
Shador Sanders.
You're kidding
holds the career passer completion percentage record in college football at 71.4% completion rate.
That's insane.
That's absurd.
That's insane. I would have never guessed that.
We got 2 guys in college football who are right behind him who could maybe challenge for that record. Will Rogers at Washington this year. He is sitting at 69.5% completion. And Carson Beck is sitting at 68%
pretty good
completion. So there you go. Two guys that could knock Shedeur Sanders off of that pedestal, Cole. Here's another guy. Maybe you've heard of Khalil Mack. You know who Khalil Mack is? Yeah, pretty good player. Really good at getting a hand on the ball and knocking the ball out. Well, there's another Khalil. His name is Khalil Red Murdoch, who plays at Buffalo.
Is related to Alex?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Just when you look at them side by side, you're like, there's no way those two are related.
Okay, gotcha.
He is 6 forced fumbles away from breaking Khalil Mack's record of forced fumbles in a season, which in a career, which was 16. And Red Murdoch had 7 forced fumbles last year.
It's impressive.
So another one that's up for grabs. Here's one, Cole. Maybe you forgot this guy was still playing college football, but have you ever heard the name Bert Auburn?
No.
Kicker at Texas?
No.
I always loved it because it sounds like burnt Auburn.
No, I hadn't.
And burnt orange is Texas's color.
Yeah.
Bert Auburn is now at Miami. Okay. A lot of people don't know. He transferred to Miami. That head of hair, man, it's going to be out to here in that Miami humidity. Bert Auburn has a chance to break the record for the most number of career field goals made.
Wow.
But he really this is field goals, not PATs. They really need Miami's offense to stall out and give him a lot of opportunities. He needs to hit 34 more to break Christopher Dunn's record of 97 career
not bad
field goals. So there you go. Some other records that obviously we know aren't going anywhere. Barry Sanders, 1988 single season rushing record, 26-28 at Oklahoma State. Penn State has 49 consecutive non-losing seasons. Don't think they're going to have a losing season this year. So there you go, Cole. Some records that are up for grabs this season.
A couple of them probably will be broken. Already, Diesel, 12 entries in this very first segment on the Hub City Spartanburgers text line. JC is taking Florida Atlantic plus 14.5 over Maryland. JC, big news for you. That is the game I also took. So if it doesn't hit, don't blame me there. Scotty from BMW takes UCLA plus 5.5 to beat Utah. Buckeye Mike, Northwestern plus 5.5 over Tulane. Steve Squared is going UCLA plus 5.5 over Utah. Jacob in Spartanburg, LSU Clemson is the game. And he says LSU plus 4.5. He's taking the Tigers of Baton Rouge. Kevin Buggs, good to hear from you. He's also going 14.5 FAU over Maryland. He said he likes your pick, Diesel, but had to follow Cole on this one. Kevin, I hope it pays off for you. I hope it does.
That was your first mistake.
Yeah. Let's see if we can get this off to a good start. Tolo Sean, good to hear from you. South Florida over Boise State plus 5.5. Corn Chip says, give me Kennesaw State plus 17.5 over Wake. Michael in Simpsonville goes Akron. Akron plus 5.5. Let's see here. RJ goes UNC plus 3.5 over TCU. And then the very first one that you mentioned, play-by-play, JB, is going going Auburn plus 2.5 over Baylor. Also, Tyler from the Berg gets in. He's going Cincinnati over Nebraska plus 6.5. How about that?
That's going to be a tough one. We didn't get a chance to talk about it yesterday because we ran out of time. But Scott Satterfield's got to beat Nebraska or his ass might get fired this year.
Tonight in college football, Tolo's a pretty good slate. I know it's not a Saturday slate, but still, it's not terrible. It starts at 5:30 with a top 25 team, Boise State at South Florida tonight. That game should be really interesting because we talked about this yesterday. Boise State only a 5.5-point favorite. And then after that tonight, you have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 games tonight. Some local ones, Diesel, Elon, Duke tonight. Also, NC State in action tonight. Really, really, really interested to see what NC State does. They are hosting East Carolina. So some local teams in action. Again, ECU, NC State, Duke, Elon. And then the rest of them, we'll see. But a pretty good slate tomorrow as well, beginning at 6 o'clock. College football is back, and we talk to Jordan Kaye of the State newspaper. It is the State's segment every Thursday at 3:22 p.m. It's rotated between Chapel Fowler, who covers Clemson, and Jordan Kaye, who covers South Carolina. Last week, we talked to Chapel Fowler. So today, in about 3 minutes from right now, we'll be joined by Jordan Kaye at the state newspaper to talk Gamecocks. Well, it's time to talk a little South Carolina Gamecocks. We are still getting you South Carolina fans here in the upstate ready for Sunday's season opener in Atlanta against Virginia Tech. We go to the phone lines where we're joined by Jordan Kaye, the States segment every Thursday, 3:22 p.m. right here on the Fan Upstate, talking Gamecocks with Jordan Kaye. Jordan, what do you expect the turnout to be in Atlanta, in the Benz, in terms of just how many Gamecock fans make the trip and also how many more Gamecock fans you think will be there than Hokie fans?
Yeah, I'm thinking there's probably 30,000, maybe more South Carolina fans. And
wow.
I don't know about Virginia Tech, maybe 15, 20,000. I'm not sure their alumni base in Atlanta, but last I heard, South Carolina was pretty close to selling out its allotment at 25,000 tickets. And then you got to think however many more thousand are just buying the tickets through, a third party or StubHub or whatever. So, yeah, I think it's going to be pretty big. I'd probably think that at least 70-30 South Carolina, Virginia Tech, and then a few stragglers who just want to go see a football game on Sunday.
Jordan, I saw in Shane Beamer's media availability on Tuesday, he said the team was pretty healthy. Might want to check my sources to get the exact quote there, but pretty healthy doesn't mean all the way healthy. So can you give us any insight whatsoever on maybe any little nagging injuries that are going to hamper any guys on Sunday?
I haven't heard of anything too crazy. I mean, there's the three edge guys and Jaylen Brown, and there's another freshman. Those guys, have long-term injuries, whether that's a couple weeks or the whole season, not quite sure. But, they definitely don't have the depth they thought they would at the edge position. But other than that, no, there hasn't been anything crazy, which is kind of surprising for, a team heading in after fall camp. So we'll see, obviously, if that changes on Sunday.
Jordan, the biggest news this week was about Rasul Fajan and him being cleared to play right before the season kicks off. When you look at Sunday's matchup, obviously probably a few days ago, maybe a week or so ago, South Carolina, their staff started implementing the game plan for Virginia Tech. How much do you think Rasul will be in the game plan, and how much Gamecock fans could expect to see him on Sunday?
A lot. I mean, I think Oscar Attaway is still the number one running back on this team and is going to get the starting nod and the most carries. But Rasul Fajan is going to play a lot. He's going to play early and get a ton of carries. And if he shows out, I mean, Mike Shula is going to ride the hot hand. So this is a running back group that I think is really top heavy with Oscar Attaway and Rasul Fajan. But we've been hearing a lot of good things out of camp from Isaiah Augustave, the Colorado transfer. So they do have some pieces, and with Fajan, you actually start to feel good about the depth of South Carolina's running back room, and I think he's going to be a big, big part of that. So, yeah, you're going to probably see him on the first drive of the game.
Jordan, style-wise, body size, I mean, I know South Carolina Gamecock fans, they're familiar with Oscar Attaway, 220-pound guy, but style-wise, how would you compare and contrast Oscar with Rasul?
I think very similar in a lot of ways. Guys that can get to the outside, can make plays happen, can find holes. But I just think Fajan, just in the film we watched, was just his cuts were just so sharp and crisp. And, sometimes it's tough to tell because, I was watching Attaway against, LSU or whoever, and Fajan's going up against Colorado State. So it's not exactly a one-to-one thing, but just on his film, it was pretty clear how, well he moves in traffic and how he can find holes and cut and juke guys out.
Kind of piggy-tailing off of Diesel's question, Jordan, when you look at the two backs, I mean, do you think South Carolina fans could expect to see one used more often in short yardage situations or one maybe just out in the open?
No, I think they're really going to mix and match these guys. I don't think there's, hey, this is the short yardage guy, or here's the 1st and 10 guy. Like I think the idea is both of these guys can almost be interchangeable doing anything. We saw Oscar Attaway catch a couple passes last year. Rasul Fajan did that very well at Utah State. And so, that could also be a big piece of this, who exactly is the better pass catcher, like, I don't know that I've seen enough to be able to say one way or another, but that might dictate a lot too of, when guys are out there on certain plays.
Talking to Jordan Kaye of the State newspaper, as we're going to do every other week during the football season. Can you go a little bit into Nick Harbor's decision to step away from track, focus 100% on football? How did that decision, come to be? And at the same time, how much has that really amped up his development and readiness going into week one?
Yeah, like this was not an easy thing for Nick Harbor. Like if you remember, when he was coming out of high school as a 5-star prospect, like his big thing in recruiting was like, whatever school I go to, like you've got to let me do track and football. And South Carolina let him do that. And hell, he was fantastic in track, qualified for the Olympic trials. Like his family loves track. This was, arguably like kind of what he was just better at quicker was track. And I think after last season, a little bit disappointing in his numbers, and he's going into a year 3 when some people thought, hey, he should be having, I think when he came out of high school, people thought, hey, he was going to be in college 3 years and go to the NFL. And there was none of that talk. And I think he wanted to just say, hey, I got to give football my all. And so he doesn't do track in the spring, goes through spring ball for the first time in college, gets to work with Mike Furry for an entire offseason, and just watching him this fall in limited just routes. It's so much cleaner, so much crisper. It's night and day. And so you see what he did at the end of the last season, and that, and it's hard not to think that he's going to have a big season in 2025.
It's really interesting, Jordan, for people out there hearing you talk about the transition from track to football. Have you heard anything from him when it comes to just the conditioning, getting into football shape? For somebody out there listening that might be a Gamecock fan that might really not understand why someone who dedicates so much time to track struggled in 2024 on the football field like he did.
There is part of what you're talking about. Like he did have to lose weight for track, and then football season starts and he's got to gain it right back.
Yeah.
But it's not even that. Like he played mostly like defensive end in high school. Like the guy like really had hardly played wide receiver when he shows up. And then he shows up to South Carolina right in the fall as his freshman year. So he's practicing for 1 month, 2 months. Okay. And then he goes right into track after that, doesn't get a whole spring, then kind of just starts up. I mean, you can make an argument. He's like really practiced wide receiver for like 2 falls. That's it in his life. And so imagine you're a wide receiver coach and need to just teach this guy the intricacies of playing wide receiver, running routes, getting out of breaks, just catching the ball. Like these are little fundamental things that they just had to teach him and get him to perfect. And if he's out for an entire spring, it's hard to really hone in on those things. And so this entire spring and fall, they've been able to kind of work with him on all these little things. And then you're starting to really see it come together and click for him.
Jordan, both Cole and I are pretty high on this team, even though we know what they lost on the defensive side of the football last year. I think both of us predicted them going 8-4 this year. But if by the end of the season, South Carolina fans were disappointed in the result, let's say that's 7-5 or worse, what would you say would have been the Achilles heel of this team for most of the year?
Probably just losing close games. I think you can kind of maybe you could point to the defense. If they win 7 games, I would say, the front did not surround Dylan Stewart with enough up front to really get to the quarterback. I mean, that's probably number one. Number two is the freshman wide receivers probably didn't progress as South Carolina thought. But also, I just think this team's going to be in a lot of close games, especially that stretch of LSU, Oklahoma, Alabama, Ole Miss. And you look last year, and they were pretty much 500 in those games. Actually, a little better. You beat Clemson, beat Missouri, lose to Alabama, and who's the other one? Oh, Alabama and LSU, lose to Illinois. So, I mean, they're right around 500 in that. But if you have one of those, years from hell where you're losing all those games and someone's always kicking a last-second field goal against you, I mean, that's just tough because I think the talent gap between South Carolina and a lot of these teams is going to be pretty slim, and they just have to pull out games as they did against, Clemson last year.
We're joined by Jordan Kaye, the state newspaper who covers South Carolina for the state. Jordan, the game within the game. We've talked about this a lot for Clemson LSU on Saturday night, but for Sunday in Atlanta, what game within the game catches your eye, fascinates you the most?
The Dylan Stewart versus Kyron Drones is going to be fun to watch. I'm really curious. Virginia Tech had an entire offseason to prepare for Dylan Stewart. And now let's see it. Are they throwing double teams at him? Are they having a tight end help on every single play? I mean, what are they doing? Or are they just rolling out Kyron Drones to the opposite side of Dylan Stewart? And Drones is a guy who, I think some of the coaches are comparing him to Lenora Sellers, probably not as an overall quarterback, but athleticism-wise and running-wise. And it's going to be fun to see, hey, how does Virginia Tech kind of use this Lenora Sellers type player against Dylan Stewart? And that's going to be a fun matchup I am excited to watch.
Jordan, are you as bullish on this switch to the swoosh as some people are calling it? And can you do a quick power rank of the worst pieces of on-field apparel during the Under Armour days?
I don't know that I've seen enough to really have a huge take on it. I don't know the worst things that I've seen. And Under Armour, I mean, they have put out decent jerseys. There were a lot of people saying last year, that throwback thing was awesome. No, I think it's a good move for South Carolina. Nike brings a level of cachet and stuff like that. I don't necessarily buy into, I think Shane Beamer was saying yesterday that, recruits asked about it. And I totally don't doubt that. I don't think a ton of people are making their college decisions on whether it's an Under Armour or a Nike tool, maybe. But I don't see it. I think it's great for South Carolina. I think it's a better contract going forward for them. And you get a brand that your players and coaches don't have to apologize for. I think that's a big thing of they can walk into a living room and feel confident. And they can tell a kid, yeah, we are Nike. We are these things. That going to change a kid's mind? Maybe not. But, it is a pretty good, ground to stand on.
Well, Jordan, I'll say this. This show is unaffiliated, Nike, Under Armour. If anybody wants to throw some sponsorship dollars at us, let's talk. But the most comfortable piece of golf apparel that I have, polo shirt, is an Under Armour shirt from a now defunct university here in the upstate. Better than my dry fit, blows it out of the water.
Wow.
That's good stuff.
See, I went to Arizona State, and so I kind of got in on the Adidas bandwagon. So
there you go.
Rock a bunch of Adidas gear. It is a crazy thing where I moved to Columbia and I've never seen so much Under Armour gear in my life. What college you support and what brand they're affiliated with, it matters. It's crazy, the psychology of it.
Jordan, peeking over the fence at the rival for South Carolina, looking at Clemson on Saturday night, from someone who covers South Carolina on a day-to-day basis, your thoughts on what happened Saturday night in Clemson?
I think Clemson gets it done. I really do. I just think at Clemson, Kate Klubnik's coming back. Peter Woods is an absolute monster. And LSU lost a lot of its offensive line. And you've got this really big, physical, experienced Clemson front that I think is going to cause problems for LSU. And I think Klubnik can kind of make them pay on the other end. So, yeah, I got Clemson probably pretty close. But, that'll be an interesting storyline if LSU loses going forward.
Find him on Twitter at JordanK_23. Jordan, can we get you to participate in our upset picks challenge? I know this is kind of live on the air and you don't know anything about it, but it's a weekly game where you try to pick a team that's an underdog to win outright. Can we get you to be a part of that?
Yeah, let's do it.
Awesome. Well, do this. I don't want to put you on the spot too bad unless you're just happen to be ready to go. But your goal is to pick a betting underdog to win the game outright. And you can either give it to me right now, or you can text it to either Cole or myself, and we'll get you on the list.
Okay, they got to win outright.
They got to win outright.
I got to look a little bit.
Do it.
Okay.
I'll text you.
And then it gets really fun, Jordan, later in the season, especially if you don't have any points, right? So like Diesel said, for every time you hit, for every time that team wins, you get that amount of points added to a rolling tally. So we'll keep track of it, and we appreciate you as always, man.
Thank you, guys. Have a good one.
Absolutely.
Thanks,
Jordan Kaye, the state newspaper, always good stuff. And even the guy that covers South Carolina, Diesel, going with the Tigers on Saturday night.
That's a fascinating, and he doesn't have that affiliation. He said, I didn't realize that Jordan was went to Arizona State.
How about that?
That's awesome. When we come back, Cole, let's do a whip around the sports world, see what else is going on out there in our Daily Wires. And just like that, we have Jordan Kaye of the state newspaper's pick. Jordan is going with Toledo plus 11.5 on the road at Kentucky.
How about it?
I think he might be the first one to pick that game.
Toledo.
So that's a good one.
What's their mascot? Like bottle rockets or something? What are they? Is that what they are?
It looks like something that travels up from the south. It's a rocket. It is a rocket. So he's taking Toledo plus 11.5. But not bottle rockets, no. Cole, let's see what's going on out there in the sports world in a segment we call Our Daily Wires, the buzz happening in the sports world. In case you missed it, the Braves are on a heater. They defeated the Marlins yesterday by a score of 12-1. They went long a lot in that game. The Braves are in Philly tonight, 6:45 first pitch. Cal Cantrell on the mound for the Braves.
Speaking of Braves, Madcraft's back in the stream for the first time.
Really?
6 months. Yeah.
Well,
Braves win, and he's back. How about that?
Did he forget that we have an upset picks challenge going on? Madcraft?
The Braves derailed Madcraft's entire watchability of Wire to Wire.
Okay.
Going for a spin. Speaking of Rockets.
Had the New York Knicks offered their head coaching job to South Carolina women's coach Dawn Staley, she said, quote, "I would have had to do it, not just for me, for women. To break that door open," she said on the Post Moves podcast with WNBA star Aaliyah Boston and former WNBA great Candace Parker. Quote, "I would have had to. It's the New York Knicks. I'm from Philly, but it's the freaking New York Knicks."
Yeah. You know what, man? Who wouldn't think that? You know?
Right?
Like, who wouldn't think it if they were offered?
The Las Vegas Aces beat the Atlanta Dream 81-75 on Wednesday, tying a franchise record with their 12th victory in a row. They move into second place in the WNBA standings. As has been the case throughout their red-hot August run, the Aces were led by Asia Wilson with 34 points, 9 rebounds, and 4 blocks. Teammate Jackie Young had her second triple-double of the season. 10 points, 10 assists, 11 rebounds.
You know, I think Las Vegas Aces might be my favorite sports team name mascot.
Yeah.
Like, that's just a good one. It makes sense. It's easy. Rolls off the tongue. I love it. Las Vegas. I might become an Aces fan.
How about
Do they have, like, apparel in the WNBA? Can you buy apparel for WNBA?
I think you have to make your own.
Okay, gotcha.
Gio Lopez will be the North Carolina Tar Heels starting quarterback on Monday against TCU when they kick off the Bill Belichick era. He announced that earlier, saying that Lopez has made good strides in adapting to the Tar Heels playbook since joining the team following the spring transfer portal window. Alabama will be without team captain and starting defensive tackle Tim Keenan III for Saturday's opener against Florida State after he suffered a high ankle sprain on Tuesday. Keenan is expected to miss multiple games. The Tide face UL Monroe in week 2, Wisconsin in week 3, and then have a bye week before traveling to Georgia for their SEC opener on September 27th. The game, Harvard versus Yale, will be played at Fenway Park next season. The second time the rivalry has moved to the home of the Boston Red Sox. November 21st, 2026 will be the 142nd meeting between the two Ivy League schools, the third most played rivalry in college football. Yale leads 71, 61, and 8, including 3 straight wins.
You mean to tell me there's no racetracks up there to play at? You have to play at a football field instead? I mean, come on. What are we doing here?
Can you do it in the corner at Pocono or something?
I wonder about Harvard and Yale. If you ever went to a Harvard-Yale game, I mean, would you become smarter just by being close to them, sitting near them?
Didn't they have like a Yale Bowl, the football stadium, way back in the day that was just massive?
Maybe
like
so.
Back in the 20s, the Yale football stadium was gigantic. Even by like modern standards.
Do they check your GPA to buy a ticket? Like, do you have to? I just wonder. I mean, that's interesting. I'm probably too dumb to get in that game.
I'm trying to.
Sorry, sir, you can't come in. You didn't have a high enough GPA in college.
Right. They down here, all you need to do is be able to say the name of the team, and you're in. Let's see. Army going to begin selling alcoholic beverages at football games at Meechee Stadium, beginning with its game Friday against something called Tarleton State. Army is the last service academy to not sell alcohol at football games. Air Force started selling beer in 2017 and Navy in 2021.
That's crazy. I didn't know that until I read that this morning and put it on the Daily Wires. But like the fact that they're the last service academy, and that we still have teams out there like Clemson, just started doing the same thing. I mean, it's crazy to think that money is being left on the table by a lot of programs.
Do you think they're going to let the Army cadets drink at the games?
I mean, how are you going to stop?
Yeah, I wouldn't want to try to stop them.
Yeah, I don't know.
They would flank you. They'd block up the middle, and they'd flank around the outside, and they'd get to the beer line anyway. The New England Patriots bolstered their quarterback depth chart by claiming former Giant Tommy DeVito on waivers yesterday. To make room for DeVito, the Patriots released veteran wide receiver Kendrick Bourne after talks to trade him didn't come to fruition.
That just doesn't sound right. Like, I'm happy for Tommy that he got picked up. He's fun to watch. He's got that charisma, but Tommy DeVito's, he only fits in New York, right? He just doesn't fit in New England. I don't like it. I thought he might get signed by the
Telling me
Giants
there's no Italians in Boston?
No, I don't think so. I don't like it. I don't like it. I know he probably doesn't have to move, right? But it's just something about that New York Giants. The New York Giants and Tommy DeVito. I don't know.
By the way, I was right. Yale and the Yale Bowl back in 1923 fit 80,000 fans.
That's a lot of fans.
That's crazy for Yale. Yeah. That's back when Yale was winning national titles. Though they were like one of only 4 teams actually playing football. The Detroit Lions are in negotiations with star edge rusher Aiden Hutchinson for a new contract. Despite having picked up his 5th-year option, GM Brad Holmes emphasized the importance of reaching a new deal with Hutchinson. The team is focused on securing a long-term agreement with him, who is under team control through the 2026 season. Jags cornerback and wide receiver Travis Hunter is healthy and will play in the season opener against the Carolina Panthers on September 7th. He and his wife also just welcomed a baby boy. Congratulations to them. He announced it in a YouTube video titled Dear Son, which you can go watch. It's on YouTube. The Asheville Tourists blew out the Hub City Spartanburgers yesterday, 13-8. Bad game for the Burgers. Maybe, Cole, we can get you to try this next Wednesday when we're on location.
2 Wednesdays.
At an Ingles, 2 Wednesdays. But the U.S. Open tennis is selling an odd combination of concessions.
Okay.
They're charging $100 for this. Chicken nuggets topped with caviar. Chicken nuggets and caviar.
I don't want caviar anyway.
Caviar's good.
No.
What do you mean? It's good.
No, I'm good. I'll pass on that.
And finally, our long-running national nightmare is over. The old timer is back in the Cracker Barrel logo.
Yeah, I did. That news broke the evening before last. That is funny. I think we talked about it in that I talked about it in that very last segment on Wednesday, but they caved. They actually caved, but they said they listened to the people. Speaking of listening to the people, Diesel and I, it's time to sharpen our pencils or crayons for some of you out there and give our official score predictions for South Carolina and Clemson this weekend, how we see it playing out and how you, Tolo, see it playing out as well. That's next. helps, Tolos, if you like and follow the Fan Upstate on our social media pages, because Diesel and I are going to give you our score predictions for South Carolina LSU, South Carolina Virginia Tech, and Clemson LSU. Try that again there in just a few minutes. But if you like and follow the Fan Upstate on Facebook at The Fan Upstate, you can see those predictions there. I just posted them like 15 seconds ago. So make sure you go like and follow the Fan Upstate on Facebook and make your predictions on that post as well. Want to hear from you on this Thursday, 844-326-3663, in terms of what your predictions are for both in-state teams this weekend. Reminder, Tolo takeover at 5. I don't know why.
Same time.
I don't know why I all of a sudden thought 6 for a second, but Tolo takeover at 5. Diesel, do you have a gripe that you're gonna reveal to us in an hour from now?
I do. I have a big one.
I'm ready.
Is bugging me.
I'm excited.
And it's going to cost me money, so that's why I'm mad about it.
Yeah, Rob Brown gets his upset pick in halfway on the Hub City Spartanburgers text line. Rob Brown of the Rob Brown Show, the best morning show on your radio on the Fan Upstate. Rob Brown, Diesel going Florida State. Are we shocked by that? Before we get into these predictions,
no surprise, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know why Rob would have any affinity for Florida State.
You don't know why?
No. Also, his pick is invalid because it just says FSU plus 13.5. Rob Brown. Rob, you've been listening to this show for how long? You know the rules. We need the name, the game, and the spread, as in the whole game, as in Florida State plus 13.5 against Alabama.
Mark L.O. Ducks gets in, and he says my pick is also Florida State plus 13.5 over Alabama. That's a trendy one today. Tolo, J. Butane, is going with his predictions. We'll get to that in a second. Tolo J. Butane's on it quick, man. Before we even came back, he's already shooting us his predictions for the two in-state teams. So Tolo's get to that as well. Hurricane Jeff going Toledo in the points over Kentucky. How about that? Susan R. takes LSU plus 4.5 over Clemson. Ty Duncan 864 goes LSU plus 4.5 as well. The Gridiron Guru goes Syracuse plus 13.5 over Tennessee. Texter asked, how do you sign up for fantasy football? Well, here's the deal with that. JV brought this up too. Both leagues are full. However, if you Tolos out there, if there are 8 to 12 Tolos who are not yet in, that want to be in, that text the show and let us know that you still want to be in, I'll create a third league. But no reason to create a third league if there's only going to be a few players. But if we have enough, I'll do it. That's great. That's no problem. We'll do a third league. But I've got to see the interest on the text line. I know we've got like 2 or 3 right now. If we can get it like to 8 to 12, maybe we might can do it. Diesel, did you see the only Dan B got his in UCLA plus 5.5?
I did see that. Dan B.
That's the one to pick then.
Good choice.
How about it?
Well, Dan was awful at this challenge last year, though. So maybe it's not such a great choice.
Nashty also went LSU plus 4.5 over Clemson.
And where's Jess's pick?
Oh, yeah. Don't forget about Jess. Just Jess. Gold Rush going Coastal Carolina, 11.5 over Virginia. All right, Tolos, let's get into
very beatable.
They are. And I think that could be a sneaky good game, by the way. Let's get right into it in this very segment. Again, I just posted our predictions on Facebook at the Fan Upstate. We want to hear your predictions there as well. But for those listening, phone lines, Hub City Spartanburgers text line is open at 844-326-3663. Our official score predictions for Clemson, LSU, South Carolina, Virginia Tech. Diesel, which one do you want to start with?
Let's start with Clemson, LSU. We spent a lot of time in the first hour talking South Carolina with Jordan Kaye. If you want to go back and catch that again, you can do so on the free Odyssey app, by the way, and on the iHeart app. We are everywhere you get your podcasts. Let's start with Clemson versus LSU, though. I really like that 3.5 point spread. I think it's going to be a close football game. This is probably the most talented team Clemson has had in a long time, and it may be the most talented team they have in a while, because there's a good chance that a lot of these players go off to the NFL at the end of this season, And it may take them a year or 2 or 3 to kind of rebuild back to this level.
Okay.
It wasn't that long ago that Clemson was this good year after year after year. But obviously we know that this team is so laden with junior and senior talent that's probably going off to the NFL. I got Clemson winning this game, but I don't have them covering the 3.5-point spread.
Wow.
I have Clemson winning this game 31-28, a flurry of scoring starting maybe in the second quarter, maybe a slow start, but I think these two teams are going to be throwing haymakers at each other for 3 quarters.
So it's interesting. You're going 31-28, Clemson over LSU, a very, very close game there Saturday night in Death Valley. Diesel, could see LSU coming out in this game and jumping up on Clemson, maybe 7-0. Maybe even let's say 10-3, something like that. I do think we're going to see several field goals by both teams in this game, Diesel. I think both defenses are going to bend, but not necessarily break. So I think field goals are coming. I think field goals are going to be something that we see from not only Clemson but also LSU. And I could see early on. I was thinking about this morning with both defenses. A lot of newness, obviously, with LSU. I could see LSU jumping up like 10-3, right? 10-3, LSU has a lead. Maybe we're going midway through the second quarter. But I think at some point, Diesel, I don't know exactly when, but I think at some point Clemson explodes. I think they have a big quarter, maybe a 21-point quarter, where they kind of just seal the deal in a way. Saturday night am predicting, official score prediction, 31-17, Clemson over LSU.
And are you seeing more like straight up scoring or scoring off of turnovers, pick six, fumble, scoop, and score, that kind of thing?
I just don't see Clemson turning it over a whole lot in terms of what happens Saturday night. Could Garrett Nussmeier turn it over? I could see that. I could. He was, I don't want to say turnover happy a season ago, but I do think he had a few more interceptions than they would have liked to in 2024. So I could definitely see Garrett Nussmeier throwing the ball to the orange one time in this game. I honestly don't think you're going to see a ton of turnovers. And I say that, and there will be 9 turnovers on Saturday night, right? It'll be the most turnover-heavy game in the history of college football now that I say that. But I do think that you're going to see 2 good defenses. I do think that you could see LSU come out early with that. I know it's at Clemson. I get that. But I do think that LSU is going to come into the game Saturday night with a little bit of chip on their shoulder, right? It doesn't matter if they're playing on the road or at home. LSU is going to bring it. I remember being in Atlanta back in, 2012, 2013, when Clemson LSU played in the postseason. Taj Boyd, the infamous 4th and 17. It doesn't matter where they play. They always bring that swagger, right? That's just a part of their program and the culture. So, I could see that coming into the game early, LSU having a big play, jumping out, like I said, maybe 10-3. But I do think at some point in the game, Diesel, I do think Clemson's defense will settle in. And I think once they do settle in, that'll be pretty much all they wrote. Again, if they can settle in and Clemson's offense can have a big outburst like I talked about, I've got them 31-17. That's winning and covering the spread pretty good.
Did you see the quote? I don't know exactly when it came out, but obviously it's been within the last week or so. Steve Spurrier was on a podcast and they asked him about this football game, and he goes, "Well, to be honest, I haven't paid a tremendous amount of attention to this game." They asked him about the real Death Valley, and he's like, "Well, we played pretty well at LSU. I think they were 5-1 or 4-1 during his tenure against LSU." And he said they weren't quite as good on the road at Clemson while he was at South Carolina, but he made fun of Brian Kelly for saying that LSU was all in on this game and that Dabo Swinney should have come out and said, "Oh, okay, well, I guess we're only going to go half in."
It's interesting because I do think that the narratives have been obviously circulating with LSU really making it a point of emphasis for this game, right, on Saturday night. And look, I do buy into the LSU hype of them being ultra and uber talented, Diesel, but the reason I'm picking Clemson ultimately to win the game and win comfortably is we've talked about it a lot this week, but I think Clemson's defensive line is going to keep Garrett Nussmeier uncomfortable. And that doesn't mean record 8 sacks. I really believe that there's a lot of plays that happen within a game where they don't translate to the stat sheet, but you look back and watch the film and think, man, how big of a play was that? How big of a push was that? And I think when you talk about Parker and Woods on the outside, I think those two are going to make Nussmeier more uncomfortable, Diesel, than I think the defensive line of LSU will make Klubnik uncomfortable. And for that reason, I think at some point they settle in, and I think Cade and those receivers, I think you said it, they might get off to a little slow start. I don't know. It's going to be – that atmosphere is going to be insane.
So what you're telling me is we're not going to see empty corners in the upper deck?
I don't think
it's
we'll
going to be
see
stuffed to the gills?
I don't think we'll see. I'll tell you this. I'm going as a fan, and I hadn't done that in a while. The past – several Clemson games I've been as a media member, right? And I'm going as a fan, and we're going early. We're getting there early. I totally expect that place on Saturday to be wild, rowdy. I don't even know, and I know there was some Tolos in the stream who were talking about going as well. JB, one of them, some Clemson fans making their trip. I don't even know what too early is on Saturday. Like the game's, 7:30? That place by lunchtime, I think, Diesel, will be pretty wild.
You might be better off parking along I-85 and walking in, to be honest.
Be wild, man. It really is.
So, you ever seen the old photos of Woodstock when people's cars were parked down the road for miles?
Yeah. And
they were walking in. You might have to do that.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
It really is. Before we get to South Carolina, I believe I've got enough Tolos. I think we've got a few Tolos that won in the third league. So what I will do while you Tolos are interacting, we will do a third league. We've got League 1, League 2 already full. Again, this is fantasy football we're talking now. The draft is set for Sunday night. So I will open a third league like right now. But if you want in, I need you to text the show with League 3 or want in and you haven't joined the league already. I'll probably put this one at 8 or 10 teams for those Tolos out there. The other 2 are at 12. If I can get 12, we'll do 12. But text the show at 844-326-3663 if you do want in. Now, Diesel, on the flip side of things, Sunday in Atlanta, you and I will be there. Mercedes-Benz, a big opener for 2 programs going, in my mind, in 2 totally opposite directions in terms of their trajectory, right? How do you see this one going Sunday?
I think this one might take a little time for South Carolina to get cooking, but by the second half, this team is going to be firing on all cylinders. I think I'm not going to say they blow them out, but I don't think it's going to be particularly close. I've got this game, South Carolina winning 27-17. I think Virginia Tech and Kyron Drones is going to be a little better this year than he was last year. But what does that amount to, right? They're going to score on a relatively inexperienced defense, but I don't trust them to drive the field and score, get it in the end zone 3 times. 2 touchdowns and a field goal. That might be all that Virginia Tech's going to muster in this one. But South Carolina's bigger. They're faster. They're just more talented across the board, even if they are depleted from where they were last year. I think the South Carolina team's going to win it fairly comfortably. Again, 10 points is not super close, but I think that's how they'll get them.
I think this one's interesting when you look at South Carolina, Virginia Tech, and Tolos. Let us hear your official predictions on South Carolina VT. We've got some on the text line that we'll get to in just a second. But I don't disagree with you. I obviously have South Carolina winning over VT, but I just don't know that it's like a electrifying, sexy game. And I know South Carolina fans don't want to hear this, but I don't know if Sunday's game is going to be really entertaining. I think South Carolina could score 3 touchdowns, like 1 per quarter maybe, and then maybe score 1 late, maybe 2 in the third quarter. I've got South Carolina around 28 points on Sunday, and I've got Virginia Tech around 14-17, somewhere around in there. I've got 28-14 as my final score, but I could also see – you had 17. I could also see 28-17 as well. So you and I are really, really close in terms of what we think the final score is going to be. I just don't know if Virginia Tech has the firepower. I think Dylan Stewart's going going to come in early and set the tone early for the Gamecocks.
I could see Virginia Tech getting the ball with a minute and a half, 2-3 minutes on the clock at the end of the first half and not being able to drive the field and get it in the end zone, sort of stalling out. They'll be able to get it across the 50, I think. I don't think it's going to be a problem for them. Maybe get it down to about the 30 and then have to kick field goals a lot on Sunday.
Texter says, this is JT and Greer. He says, I think South Carolina wins in a close game, 24-17 on the Hub City Spartanburgers text line. Let's see here. Texter says, I just hope the Gamecocks game doesn't come down to a kick to win because I don't think I'm ready to see our new kicker be put in that high pressure of a situation. It's a good point. Let's see here. Texter says, Virginia Tech plays a lot of one-possession games, but have lost most of them recently. I'll take the Gamecocks in a close win as well. Let's see. A lot of fantasy league texts coming in. I will get you that link during the break. Let's go down the text line, and I think that's all the predictions for now.
We got a bunch of upset picks that are coming in. Love it.
Here's what we got on the text line right now. At one time, we've got upset picks, fantasy league, and predictions. It is a cesspool right now on the Hub City Spartanburgers text line.
We got John Rhodes taking Florida State plus 13.5 over Bama. We got MD75 rolling with you, Cole, taking Florida Atlantic over Maryland. Who? Yeah. Coach AJ wants Sam Houston over UNLV. That one's paying out 9.5 points. Let's see. Tolo, Keith, and Fountain Inn. Keith, come on, man. You can't believe that this is going to happen. He's taking Western Illinois plus 45 over Illinois.
Oh, yeah, that's going to happen.
Unbelievable.
That's going to happen.
And you know what? Twisted Whisker, you're banned. You're banned from the challenge.
No.
Twisted Whisker says, give me Charlotte plus 5.5 over App State, who still haven't named a starter, by the way.
Man, he's going against your Mountaineers. Huh?
It's going to be AJ Swan, the guy that transferred in from LSU.
Yeah.
But Dow Loggins playing it close to the vest here.
We're getting a lot of upset picks in. Carolina Cowboy, Tolo, JWM. Let's see. Michael from Gaffney, you mentioned. John Rhodes, Diesel, JT, and Greer. I don't know what we're at in terms of breaking 60. What we have yesterday, 61, Diesel?
We had 61 yesterday.
I think we're going to blow that out of the water today. We're only an hour and 20 minutes into the show. And let me guess. Let me throw out a guess.
Of where we are right now?
Yep, where we are right now, just today. Not total, just today.
Just today.
I say I'm going to guess just today. We're at 30 just today.
We started with number 62.
Okay.
We're at 93. So we got 31 so far, and they keep coming in. So I'm adding Dewey in there. He's taking that's not his upset pick. That is just a score prediction. But I did add Tolo JWM, who's taking Toledo plus 9.5 against Kentucky.
And T-Ray also. How about that?
Gotcha,
Buffalo,
T-Ray.
17.5 over
That's
Minnesota.
what I went with, T-Ray.
Dewey's Gamecock prediction, for all those out there wondering, 27-6, South Carolina over Virginia Tech. So if that ends up happening, I'll laugh. Because Dewey would be the one to get it right?
Texter says, I'll eat my shoe if Western Illinois beats Illinois. Can we quote you on that?
And get it live on the air?
Can we quote you on that, sir, who didn't put their name on their text?
That's great.
That's interesting. Tolo puts down a gauntlet that says, I'll eat my shoe. All right, we'll get you a steak knife. We'll even get you some A1 sauce if you want it. Or if you're one of those weirdo Heinz 57 people.
What would happen to you, really, like your digestive system if you ate
a piece of shoe leather?
No. I mean, like a whole shoe.
A whole shoe? God, you choke on it. Like you.
Well, what if you cut up into small pieces?
You'd have to go to the hospital. You'd have to go to the hospital and get his stomach pumped because there's no way.
Jersey Joe on Facebook says, "Hey Cole, with your thinking that Clemson's going to win, you need to play Dream On by Aerosmith. Go Hokies." Joe is Joe's not confident in Clemson. He's also picking, as he said, Virginia Tech over South Carolina. How about this? Jersey Joe going against both in-state teams this weekend. He's picking LSU, and he's picking Virginia Tech. Dan B on YouTube says, pretty sure the W I'll pick is the largest spread ever picked in the challenge. How about that? Let's see here. Play-by-play JB. Yeah, we did. We got yours earlier in the show. Brandon and Spartanburg getting his in. Leprechaun of Lyman. Oh, that's him. That's
he
Leprechaun.
Says, "Hoo, I'll eat my shoe."
He's the one that says he'll eat his shoe. How about that?
Okay. I mean, you marinate it for a while. You put it in the smoker, cook it slow, low and slow. That might tenderize up a little bit, and it might be edible. Cole, let's do this. When we come back, you got me yesterday. I came in with full confidence that I could win and be really good at the Name That Fight Song challenge, and I sucked at it. I mean, I was flat out embarrassed for my family how I did. Well, today I'm going to turn it around on you, and we're going to play a little game called Where Did These NFL Greats Play Their College Ball? That's next on the Fan Upstate. I brought shame upon my family crest yesterday, Cole. And a devious little game you sent my way called Name That Fight Song. And I thought I could pick these fight songs out of a lineup, and damn it, I was wrong.
It was funny, though.
I was terrible at it. And I mean, I've never claimed to be a South Carolina Gamecock fan, but in no way, shape, or form can I ever show my face in Columbia again because I didn't recognize the South Carolina fight song. And a lot of Tolos were very upset.
That was the best one. By the way,
I was struggling. It's like, you know all these songs. You know these fight songs, but you just can't pull it out of the ether and the gray matter in the back of your brain.
Since you brought it up, not to make you feel even more embarrassed, but I did create a promo out of the South Carolina one for you.
Oh, come on.
It's funny, though. Here we go. It's funny.
I'm going to get death threats for this.
Wire to wire with Diesel and Cole Bryson. Turn on, leave on.
One thing we love about college football, Diesel, is the band, the marching band, the fight songs. But it's time to put Diesel to the test once again. But I'm going to play a snippet, Diesel, a snippet of a fight song, college fight song, and you have to tell me what fight song it is. Can you get this one? Let's try.
Oh, that's Alabama. No, God. I freaking know all these tunes.
Evidently not.
Oh, that's NC State.
Go Cox.
Oh, what?
Go Cox.
I thought he said go Pack.
No.
How do I not know South Carolina's fight song? Just by listening to it. I mean, they don't score a lot, so.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, a little jab at the end.
Turn on, leave on.
And there you go. That's pretty good right there. So you'll never be able to live that one down, not knowing the fight song.
Yeah, and this is going to be one of those ones. The industry term for it is evergreen, which means you probably did not set an end date or when this thing can't play.
Death.
So, yeah, it's going to be playing
by the way,
forever.
I have ESPN.com pulled up on my screen right here. That's what I'm looking at. That way, there's no cheating. Okay. This is fair. I'm looking at ESPN.com right now, the wire-to-wire fantasy league that I'm going to be sending the invite to. So on the rundown, I'm not looking. If you see me looking this way, I have it.
Gotcha.
Nowhere pulled up.
Okay, good. So, and by the way, we just got an upset pick in from Bossman Fat. Bossman Fat, make sure when you send your pick in, you put the spread in your pick as well. You gave us your name. You gave us the game, but you also got to give us the spread.
It's a great name, by the way.
It is a great name. So appreciate you getting your pick in. That puts us right now at 97 picks. I would love for us to get to about 120 today. That would give us 30 more to hit our goal of 150 by the end of the show tomorrow.
And again, Tolos, while we're doing this game, I will literally be sending the invite to you Tolos who texted in for the wire-to-wire third fantasy league. If you just tuned in, I'm opening a third league. If you want in, text the show and I'll send you the link. But Diesel, now the floor is yours.
All right, here we go, Cole. The game is, where did this NFL star play their college ball? Most of these guys, but not all, and I try to make this hard on you.
It's just going to be tough.
Most of them played their college ball at a smaller school.
My God,
okay,
so bad at this.
But not all. Not all. I think you're going to do okay. They're big names. You should know where these guys played their college ball. So here we go, Cole. And I have 22 of these, by the way. We don't have to get to all of them. Number one, where did Jerry Rice play his college ball?
So I know this one because when I used to play, I don't have a console anymore, but when I used to play NCAA, like, 10, 11, 12, whatever the last game that I played.
I think it was 2017, 2016 was
whatever reason. I always played with Mississippi State, Valley State, whatever it is.
Look at you.
MSVU, is that right?
That's correct. Mississippi Valley State.
I always played with them just because of Jerry. That's the only reason I even know that school exists. So,
way to go. One for one.
All right, can we end it now? I'm undefeated.
Here's another easy one, Cole. I know you know that. I'm buttering you up with the easy ones first, okay? Where did Barry Sanders play his college ball? Oh, no.
Barry Sanders.
Not to be confused with Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah, thanks, Monica. Was that Monica? I don't want to
Monica
Nut. Yeah.
Oh,
Barry. Was it Oklahoma?
No.
Barry Sanders. I think it was Oklahoma.
He was not a Sooner.
Oh, God. Michigan State.
Oh, he's he's the all-time leading rusher in the NFL.
I know. For whatever reason, I'm blanking on his college. I'm not looking at the stream. Oh my gosh.
Stream, don't help. Don't help. Dan?
I swear it's Oklahoma. No, it's not. I don't know. I'm drawing a blank here on Barry.
Well, you were in the right state.
Oh!
You just didn't say state. He played at Oklahoma State.
Oh my gosh. Do I get half credit for that?
No, you do.
Oh my gosh.
Half credit. What is that?
I had the state left off. I was dead sold that he played at Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Dang it.
Yeah. Here we go, Cole, with number 3. You're 1-1. Where did Brett Favre play his college ball?
Brett Favre.
Brett Favre
played at small. Brett Favre played Southern Miss.
Correct.
Right?
Southern Miss.
It was up there somewhere. I had to pull it out.
Way to go. Here's an easy one, Cole. You should know this one. Where did Ray Lewis play college ball?
Oh, yeah, that one's easy. The U, baby.
The U.
Right?
The U. All right, you've gotten 3 out of 4 correct. Here's where it gets a little tougher. How about LaDainian Tomlinson?
LaDainian Tomlinson played in Texas. Right? You might not can say Texas.
I'll give you that. He played in Texas.
He did play in Texas.
He was in Texas.
The only reason I know that, LaDainian, he's a Texas guy. Not SMU. TCU?
Correct. He played his college ball at TCU.
I was going to say SMU or Texas Tech or TCU. One of the 3.
You're killing this game.
So far.
Right. Here's where it gets tougher.
Don't hype me up. I'll eventually struggle at some point.
He spent years and years and years fighting with horse's ass on television. Now he's gone solo. Where did Shannon Sharp play his college ball?
I know where his brother played, obviously, right? Let's do his brother. Can we do Sterling instead? Shannon Sharp played college football at, oh my God,
This is a tiny school.
Is it?
Yeah. I think they might. Are they even Division 1? No, they're not Division 1. That's a Division 2 school.
You're kidding me.
That's a Division 2 school.
Shannon Sharp played D2 football in college.
Dewey said, these are interview questions for your job. You're going to get fired.
I have no Shannon Sharp college. This is weird. I was going to guess somewhere on the West Coast, but I don't know, man. I have no clue. I couldn't even begin to. It's a small D2. I have no idea.
Yep. He played at Savannah State.
Savannah State.
Probably have never heard of Savannah State.
No, I'd never heard of it. I'm guessing it's in Savannah, right?
I would assume, but then again,
is there a school?
Then again,
Savannah,
Jackson
Georgia?
State is not in Jacksonville.
Jackson's in like Alabama or Mississippi.
Jackson State is in Alabama, or Jacksonville State. Jacksonville State is in Alabama.
That's right.
All right, where did Kurt Warner play his college ball?
Kurt Warner played.
Small school.
Kurt Warner.
It was
played at
FCS at the time. I'll give you that much. It was FCS.
It's not not Northern Illinois. No. Tony Romo, I think, played at Northern Illinois. Kurt Warner played college football where?
I thought you knew the NFL.
Kurt Warner. Oh, my gosh.
I will give you the word Northern.
I had that right? Northern?
I said the wrong state. You said Illinois.
Northern. Yeah, I'm 90% sure I'm thinking of Romo, who played at Northern. No, maybe that's wrong. Northern Iowa?
Correct. He played at Northern Iowa.
Now I'm wondering, am I right on Romo? Northern Iowa. You're kidding me.
Did Tony Romo play college?
Northern Illinois. It was something with Illinois or
Tony Romo went to Eastern Illinois.
Illinois.
But yeah, you're in the right state. You're in the right state.
So what have I got? Like 3 right, 3 wrong, something like that.
Let's see. You're 3, 4, 5, and 2 at this point. I mean, with some help. This is a hard game. It's a hard game. So
I'll take it.
Giving you some help where I can.
I just want to finish with a winning record here.
Very easy one then, Cole. You ought to get this one. Where did Randy Moss play his college ball?
Randy Moss.
Pretty good wide receiver,
Yeah, I heard him once or twice. Marshall, right?
Yeah, Marshall Thundering Herd.
It helps.
He was at Florida State, and wasn't he also at Notre Dame for like a cup of coffee before he got booted out? I think it was Florida State
Yeah.
and Notre Dame, or maybe it was flip-flop. Maybe it was Notre Dame then Florida State.
Did he graduate from Marshall, though?
Yes.
I couldn't remember.
Yes.
Randy Moss. Man.
Where did Terrell Owens play college ball?
Oh, man.
You should know this one.
My former Cowboy, former everybody.
That's a wide receiver. My quarterback.
Oh, God. Terrell Owens.
You don't know this one?
I'm thinking. Terrell Owens played college football at SEC school, right? No, Terrell Owens. This one's tough for some reason. I was thinking of SEC school. I have no idea where he played college.
It's an SEC school state. It's in a state that an SEC school occupies. I'll give you that much.
Not Oklahoma State. I don't know.
He played his college ball at UT Chattanooga. Really? So you got it incorrect, but
yeah, incorrect.
All right.
Well, how about that?
Let's see. Maybe this one's too hard. This might be too hard, and I'll give you 2 skips in this game. How about that?
Okay.
2 skips in the remaining.
Oh, 2 skips.
There's probably like 12 or so
All right.
left. Where did Cooper Kupp play his college ball?
Cooper Kupp played at. Oh man, I might want to skip this. Skip.
All right, that's a skip. We'll skip past.
Are you going to tell me the answer at the end?
He played. Yeah, we'll go back to that one. Where did Aaron Donald play his college ball?
Oh my God, was it Pittsburgh?
Correct.
It was.
He played his college ball at Pittsburgh.
What I thought.
Way to go!
But they weren't in the AC. They weren't in the ACC. I don't think they were in the ACC at the time. Aaron Donald.
Think so.
Yeah, Aaron Donald, Pittsburgh. How about that?
How
I
about
got lucky with that one?
The newly engaged Travis Kelce?
Easy. Cincinnati.
There you go. Congratulations, you got that one correct.
That was pretty easy. Yeah.
Where did Marshall Faulk play college ball?
Oh my God, Marshall Faulk. Did they
Rich
have college?
He just told a story about hanging out on the sideline with Marshall Faulk.
Today he did.
Yeah, no, yesterday.
Yesterday.
I
think I missed that.
ESPN removed him from the sideline because they didn't want to see him in their shot.
I'm going to go skip on that one. I have no idea.
Skip on Marshall Faulk.
I have no idea where Marshall Faulk played.
Okay, so you're out of skips.
Then more skips.
You're out of skips.
What about Bayless's?
Where did Brian Dawkins play?
That's easy. Clemson.
All right. Yeah, that's an easy one.
One of the best ever. One of the best ever at Clemson. One of the best ever.
How about pretty good wide receiver, Devontae Adams?
Small school. California.
Mm-hmm. Yep. You're on the right.
Fresno State.
There you go.
Yeah.
He's a Fresno State Bulldog.
There you go.
How about, this is a hard one, Michael Strahan? Michael Strahan. He's only been on TV for like 11 years.
Oh, Michael. Timbuktu Michael.
You can drive a Buick through his teeth.
Can I go a Florida school on this one? Can I get Florida?
You'd be wrong. You're in the wrong part of the country.
I'm not really.
Yeah, you're a couple thousand miles away.
I don't know where Michael Strahan played college.
All right. He played his college ball at Texas Southern.
Oh, I would have never guessed that. I would have never guessed that.
Texas Southern.
Oh my gosh. Texas Southern.
We have, how many we have left? We have about 5 left.
All right.
We'll go through these a little more, a little faster. How about Ben Roethlisberger?
Oh God, Ben Roethlisberger. Ben Roethlisberger played college football up north. He's an up north guy. He's an up north guy. Ben Roethlisberger played college football at Diesel. Oh my God, what am I? I can't remember where Ben Roethlisberger played college football. It's not. Oh my gosh, I can't think of it.
He played. Okay, you got this one wrong, but he played it at Moons over Miami, Ohio. He played at Miami, Ohio. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, you didn't know that.
Yeah, I did. It was right here. It was right here.
It
was right here.
Come on. You can't snow me like that. Where did Patrick Mahomes play his college ball?
Texas Tech.
Easy.
Yep.
How about Josh Allen?
Wyoming.
Correct. You're on a heater. Way to go. This one's easy, Cole. I will accept either answer because he actually played at 2 different schools. Where did J.J. Watt play college ball?
Wisconsin.
He also spent some time at Central Michigan.
God, I forget about that.
Let's see. Calvin Johnson.
Georgia Tech.
Correctamundo. And the last one on the list, Cole, Steve McNair.
Oh, my God.
This is a hard one. We're ending on a toughie.
Steve McNair played at.
Does anybody know?
Southern Cal.
No. No. He played at a state school that's not really a state.
A state school?
It's like
Washington State.
Washington State is a real state.
Thinking maybe you were talking about DC. I don't know. I have no idea on this one.
Alcorn State.
Oh, my God.
Alcorn State.
I would have never gotten that one.
So when we come back, Cole, we'll tally up the final total and see how Cole did in the where did they play their college ball game.
Also, Dawn Staley broke the news. In the podcast that we mentioned in the Daily Wires, we'll have audio in the Audio Blitz at 6, but we'll touch on that. Did they hire the right coach in Mike Brown, or should it have been Dawn Staley? That's next. So the verdict is in. I wanted to have a winning record, Diesel, and that's all that matters. You told me during the break I did indeed have a winning record.
You did. Right? You did a lot better than I would have. That's for sure.
I don't know.
We had 22 players listed. I gave you 2 skips. So out of the 20, you got – how many do you think you got right?
I feel like I got 13 right.
You got 14.
14 right, okay.
Yeah, 14. You were 70%. That's pretty good.
That's good. That's good. Yeah.
You missed Steve McNair at Alcorn State. And we have Tolos texted in. It's like crazy. It's Alcorn State. It's Alcorn State. You idiot. Who doesn't know that? It's Alcorn State. That's a hard one to get, honestly.
How did our Tolos know that without Googling?
Alcorn State. You did not get Ben Roethlisberger, who went to Miami of Ohio. You didn't get Michael Strahan, who played at Texas Southern. You did not get Terrell Owens, who played at UT Chattanooga. You did not get Shannon Sharp, who played at Savannah State. And somehow, some way, you did not get Barry Sanders at Oklahoma State.
A blank
that's the one that's going to haunt you for the rest of your life.
I should have known Big Ben, too. That was tough. I don't know why I felt like I did know where he went. I just couldn't grasp it. I really couldn't.
Hey, you did well. You did really well.
All right. I have sent like 1, 2, 3, like 8 or 9 links, maybe more than the league has room for, but I don't know. We'll see. So if you just tuned in, if you're already in a wire-to-wire fantasy league, that's great. But the news is we had so much interest this year that we had to open a 3rd league. So I've got all 3 leagues pulled up right now. The first one, 12, full. The second one, 12, full. The third one, I just opened. And if you sent in a message asking to be in the league, I think I responded to everybody. So if you do, click the link, join the league, and everybody's draft is Sunday night at 8:30. I don't know what we could do to maybe a Zoom call where we can all kind of chat while we're doing the draft. That'd be a lot of fun. But if you want in the 3rd league, text the show 844-326-3663. Again, we're asking for a lot, we know, but this is the wire-to-wire fantasy football league. The 3rd one will get full, I'm sure, by the end of the show today. So if you want in, you better text the show quick at 844-326-3663. And if you didn't get a link from me, just shoot me a remind text because there were a lot that came in. I think I got them all, but I'm not 100% sure. Diesel did, real quick before we run to a break, and we'll have this audio at 6 o'clock in the audio blitz. Did the New York Knicks make a mistake by hiring Mike Brown over Don Staley?
Mike Brown, a guy that's been in a team or two and really isn't that inspiring of a pick. I mean, you moved on from a really good coach and got yourself a solid coach. But, I mean, could you have done better?
So Don Staley revealed in the podcast, and, again, we'll have the audio for you at 6 in the audio blitz, and then Clay Hendrix at 6:22. And, by the way, Tolo takeover 8 minutes from now. Mm-hmm. Dale, can you hold 8 minutes until the Tolo takeover?
I can.
Thank you. Tolo takeover 8 minutes from right now, right here on the Fan Upstate. A lot coming your way. We'll have a few more chances to get your upset picks in as well. He's Diesel. I'm Cole Bryson, and we'll do it. What next? Right? I don't know why I thought it was 6 o'clock for some reason, but it's time to sound off. Diesel, you ready?
You're just so excited that college football is back.
I'm so excited. I don't know what to do with my hands.
We have kickoff in 37 minutes.
What do I do with my hands? What do we do?
Who is going to be our
What's your
105th
name?
Tolo to get into the Wire to Wire Upset Picks Challenge? We are looking for you. 844-326-3663. More on that later on in this segment. This is your chance, Tolos, to call in right now and say whatever it is you want to say. Last-minute predictions, last-minute hate and shade at your rivals, however you want to do it. This is your segment to take over. 844-326-3663. Call in and say what you need to say right here on the Fan Upstate.
You know, it's football season.
It is?
Right? I mean, the text line, you can just – like if you drop from just a third world country, another planet, and put you in the studio, we put you here today and looked at the text line and now the phone lines, you'd say, oh, it must be football season. I mean, the text line's just been berserk, hundreds of texts. I mean, just off – it's 5:01, 1 minute. We've got 4 Tolos lined up on the phone
That's awesome.
lines. They're fired up, man.
We have 4 more phone lines because we highfalutin now. We have 8 phone lines to fill up. So you can call in 844-FAN-PHONE. But he has been waiting for a long time, and there's one. He's been waiting for a long time, waited through the break very patiently, and the floor is now yours, Dale. Go ahead in the Tolo takeover.
Well, first of all, how are you going to tell everybody the draft is at Sunday at 8 when it's clearly Saturday at 8? So you trying to get everybody to auto draft so you can get your chance to win.
No, I've said it. It's Sunday.
You did? You better double check League 2 because it says Saturday at 8:30.
Hold on a minute. This is why I didn't want to do it.
Commissioner.
That's why I didn't want to do it in the first place.
Can his ass.
All right, settings. What league are you in?
League 2, my guy, League 2.
And then what's the date? What's the date on okay, the 31st, League 1's right. All right, let's go to settings for League 2 since Dale's pitching a fit. I don't believe him, but we're going to look. Here we go. Settings, draft time. Okay, yeah, you're right. You're right. It is. I misclicked. It is now fixed.
Oh, this man.
At any time.
I apologize. I did. I clicked Saturday instead of Sunday.
What an idiot.
I mean, goodness gracious. So,
Now, look, low key, that's a great strategy to give your belt.
no, I wasn't doing that, Dale. I wasn't doing that.
I ain't mad at you.
Calling you a cheater. He's like, wink, wink. I wouldn't do that.
Look, if you ain't deflating balls, you ain't trying. Okay?
Yeah, it's true. It's true. So, are you
that was Janice Jameson's motto, too, by the way.
Oh, my God.
Facts.
Yeah.
Dale, what else do you have to say?
Yeah, what else, Dale?
Are you not ready for football? We're just 1 week away from Thursday night football with the big league, the big boys playing.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
And then if memory serves me right, I think we have 4 days in a 5-day span of NFL football. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Is this not the best time of year?
It's the best. We got college football 5 days in a row this weekend, too. How about that?
It's great. And yeah, and it's great. You bookend it. The first week of NCAA football is 5 days. Thanksgiving weekend, when it's rivalry weekend, you get 5 days of football. Fantastic.
He's fired up, man. Dale's ready to go.
Dale,
we've got football in less than 30 minutes from right now. I got to find the channel.
You need to do some breathing exercises, Dale. Woosah or something.
I have football in an hour.
Love it.
Because I officiate, so I've got to be on.
So
I'm going to come heckle you.
So what you're saying is you got football for 5 days, but you are going to miss most of this day of college football. You're going to miss it.
Incorrect. See, Siri on the watch will keep me going throughout the game. I'm good.
Oh, so that's why you missed that blatant hold. You were checking the score of the Boise State game.
No, you only do it during called timeouts, my guy.
Got to be smarter than that. Thanks, Dale.
Come on.
No.
Appreciate you, Dale. Oh, what'd you do?
Oh no.
Oh, you're gonna do this while Dale's on the line.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
What a jerk.
Oh no. Is this fake?
What?
Oh
what?
No.
Words, please. Words. You're killing me.
Micah Parsons has been traded.
Oh
my God.
To the Carolina Panthers?
Okay. No, let me guess. Before you pull it up, I'm gonna guess Detroit.
Oh my God. Micah Parsons has been traded to the Green Bay Packers.
At least it wasn't in division.
Whoa.
Did we get 3 firsts for him or just 2?
Oh, my gosh. I'm speechless.
I don't know if
What?
Oh, my gosh.
the last time he
What are
was
we
this
gonna do?
speechless was when Toby Keith died.
Cole, I need you to piece it together real quick, okay? I know we're right now we're both in
This
the
live
state of
radio?
Oregon.
Hey, Dale, can we get what are we going to do, Cole? What are we going to do?
Oh man, look, the owner sucks hotline just back up again, my guy.
Wait, I thought they had
What are we gonna do?
I thought they had a gentleman's agreement.
We just traded Micah Parsons to the Packers. Are you kidding me? What are we doing?
At least it's not in division. But
Oh,
what did we get back?
I don't
How
know.
many first rounders? It's not said.
I don't know.
Was it Adam? Did Adam
Yes.
have to break it?
Yes.
Shoot, then it's real. Oh crap!
4 years, $188 million. Oh my God. We better have gotten the freaking Brinks truck. I'll tell you that. I'm speechless right now.
Oh my gosh! It better be something for like what Chicago got for Bryce Young.
Thanks, Dale.
God.
Oh my God. I'll see y'all later.
I'm glad you two could be on the air together to go through this.
Shane Barrett, Diesel.
Wow.
So Dale was on the phones. Shane Barrett, in all caps, Micah Parsons traded to the Packers. And I saw it and I said, please don't tell me it's real.
Oh, man.
And I looked, it's real. I mean, I just don't even have words right now. I mean, we were going to trade him to a guy in the NFC. Are you kidding? I mean, to a team in the I'm speechless. I'm mad. I'm upset. Can I leave? Can I go home? This is unbelievable. This is truly unbelievable.
Ian, I'm trying to find the tweet here. Ian Rappaport.
I'm just
supposedly says that they got 2 first-round picks for him.
Oh my God, I'm sick. 2 first-round picks. Oh my gosh. All right, we've kept JD waiting long enough. Sorry, JD. My world just came to a crashing in right there.
Well, Cole, man, I feel your pain. Actually, I have multiple takeovers, and you kind of just stole one from me. I was literally hoping to break you that news. But, yeah, Ian Rappaport, they are trading All-Pro Micah Parsons to the Packers.
Isn't that
and
crazy?
they immediately agreed to a 4-year, $188 million deal,
Yep.
including $136 million guaranteed. And I love it when Ian Rappaport dropped a "per me" in his tweet. Is that not hilarious?
Whew.
I just am numb right now. I'm still numb. I
feel you, man.
Oh my God. This is crazy.
All right. It is. It's wild. And literally, I was literally waiting, and I was like, man, I hope they don't see this before I come on.
Shane
I
Barrett.
want to drop this news.
Shane got it. He
Yeah.
did. Sorry about
that's
that.
Beautiful. No, it's all good, man. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. College football. Weather. Man, the weather's cooled off a little bit. It's beautiful. And I just wanted to say this about college football. It's kind of like Christmas morning a little bit, because while you might know a few of the gifts that you're going to receive, you don't fully know everything. And so while we sit here and we predict and we preview and we try to say, the Gamecocks are going to beat the Hokies or the Tigers are going to beat the Tigers, at the end of the day, we don't know. We have no idea what's going to happen during these games. And to me, that is one of the most exciting parts, just not knowing what's going to happen come college football game day in less than 20 minutes now. Isn't it beautiful?
It is.
It's a great time.
It is. It's beautiful. The anticipation, right?
Right. Well, and see, I've used the term, I'm anxiously excited. So, I want to be excited. I want to expect to win from the Gamecocks. But at the end of the day, I don't know. It could be a one-possession game. And Virginia Tech might win it on a kick. I mean, we just don't know. But we will find out. And if anybody will be at the Furman game on Saturday, come find me. Make sure to say hello. I will be there. Y'all be blessed, not stressed.
Thanks, JD.
And have a great day.
Appreciate you. Oh, boy.
Texter says, Luka, now Micah. Damn, Dallas.
That's exactly how I feel right now. What do we do?
Another texter says, the Packers have ended the season for Dallas how many times in the playoffs? And now Dallas helps them.
I wish I had words right now. Maybe I will in 10 minutes, 20 minutes. I don't have words. You're talking about a guy like a franchise guy.
Do you want to hear Micah Parsons' statement?
Not right now.
Okay.
Not right now. Maybe later.
Okay.
I'm just not right now, dang it. Let's go to Dewey. Maybe Dewey can make my day better. Dewey, what's up?
You shouldn't want him on your team anyways. He's a petulant child, and good for him. He's getting his money. I hope he goes shopping and buys him a car. But that's enough of that crap, because Dallas is going to go 0-17, and Jerry Jones is going to live forever. But anyways,
Dewey, anyways.
But anyways, JD's right. We don't know what's going to happen in these games. We sit here and talk forever about, well, this one and that one, and who's going to poop the bed. Clemson, we think Clemson's going to go 12-0, but we don't know. They may go 0-12 for all we know. And South Carolina can go 12-0 or over 0-12 either, or any of these teams. We just don't know. And then we're going to have to watch them. I done went to the store, went and got my beer. I'm set up. I got the grill ready. I got the mayonnaise ready. I'm ready. I'm ready for it.
Well, with mayonnaise and beer, Cole, we only know one person that's going to poop the bed, and that's Dewey.
Dewey, are Diesel and I invited?
Well, you're at work right now, but you're probably going to get fired for that bad performance on your test. There's an interview question. But anyways, that's all I wanted to follow up on JD. JD's correct. We don't know, and that's the best part. We just don't know. That's why we watch the game.
We don't know.
And no more watching reruns and pretend games. We're watching real games now. Anyways, my complaint for the day is I went and got my oil changed the other day. And they're a bunch of crooks. I go for an oil change, and they're going to tell me my radiator's broke, my tire's flat, I need brakes, and my light bulb's out.
Are those things true though, Dewey?
Well, here's the problem. I just got new tires last week. There ain't nothing wrong with my brakes. And if my radiator's cracked, I would have been done none about it. Who wouldn't? The point is, these people are crooks. You go get your oil change. Hey, I want an oil change, and that's all I should be wanting to get. I didn't go ask, hey, I need a new radiator. Hey, I need new tires. I need new brakes. That's not what I said. And I gave them the biggest I was so angry at them. I walked out. I didn't even pay for my oil change. They made me so mad. Because they're crooks. They're so crooks. and they're worse than used car dealers because they prey on people who don't know anything about cars like me. But I didn't fall for it. Oh
God.
Radiator was busted, tire was flat. The problem is Dewey came in on a bicycle.
Yeah, I mean, what are we doing here, Dewey?
Texter says, shoot me. I don't know if he's talking about Micah Parsons or if he's talking about listening to Dewey.
I think he's talking about Dewey.
Let's go to the phone lines yet again. God, he's been on hold for 14
Sorry,
minutes.
Dan. Sorry, Tom and Somerville. We're sorry.
We're coming to you guys. Here we go. Dan B, what's up?
Oh.
Dude, I got tears streaming. First off, Cole just gets to call it a day and go home.
I'm telling you, man.
He's out, dude.
Take a sick day.
I'm done. Oh, my gosh.
Oh, my God. But no, in the future, we need to know what beer Dewey drinks.
What do you think it is, Dan B?
Oh, it's going to either be Busch Light, Natty Light, or PBR.
I was thinking Keystone.
I was thinking Zima.
Oh, it could be Keystone.
Keystone. I was going Keystone.
He's the only guy who still knows where to find Zima.
What else you got, Dan?
Okay, geez, man, I had some stats and stuff ready.
Recover. You got this.
Yeah. All right, so we got so far 30 new people this week from last week. We're missing 20 of the 40 people that have points have yet to get their pick in.
From last week?
That means they're going to lose points.
God.
And then about 25 or 30 of the people that had played last week haven't got in. So we're sitting at around 50 people who haven't played last week. The highest one so far is FSU at 12 picks. The next is, I believe, Syracuse at 10. So those are the most populars.
Syracuse is the most popular right now?
Wow. Yeah, I think FSU is the most popular.
Gotcha.
Syracuse second.
Wow. How about that? And what's our total number right now? Do you know?
105 right now.
105.
I'm showing 104, but I think I have a question. We'll take care of it offline.
Okay. Yep. We'll take care of that in our meeting.
You know what? I haven't even looked at you might have updated something since then. Yeah, Mike Main. Okay, so yeah, 105.
Thanks, Dan. Appreciate you, man.
Thanks, Dan.
Dan's the man at this keeping stats stuff.
Yeah,
for the Tolo. I mean, for the upset picks.
He's the one who does the hard work.
Text line is just like on fire right now. And by the way, here's where we are right now. Just so you know, Tolos, we got time in Somerville. We're supposed to go to break in like 3 or 4 minutes, and we will. And then we were supposed to get into like fantasy football stuff at 5:20. But Tolo takeover is pretty strong.
If you've got the first pick, are you going to take Micah Parsons?
That's not funny.
It's kind of funny.
I don't know if we're going to talk Micah next or if we're just going to continue the Tolo takeover or what we're going to do. But Tom in Somerville is up next. What's up, Tom?
Hey, guys. This is the best time of the year. We are back. 5 straight days. I had to call the doctor today to see if I could go get a catheter put in so I don't have to get off the couch for the next 5 days. You know, my wife's got mad at me because she called me today at like 3:30 and said, "Hey, we should take her mom, my mother-in-law, to dinner tonight at 5:15." I said, "Absolutely not. We are not doing that till Tuesday. We are going to sit on the couch. We are going to eat lasagna tonight, chicken tomorrow, steak on Saturday, and ribs Sunday, and barbecue on Monday.
God,
man. Dinner on Tuesday."
Your cholesterol's going through the roof.
We're watching Boise State. We're watching South Florida. Heck, I might even watch the Michael Vick coach Norfolk State tonight at 7:30 on ESPNU. I'm not leaving the couch for the next 5 days. I called the boss man and said I'm not coming to work tomorrow because I'm going to be getting ready to sit on the couch with my catheter in, and I will not get off the couch until Tuesday morning.
You could have just used a bucket, Tom. That's far less painful.
Well, problem is, I ain't got no more buckets because I used them all this summer, and they all got cracked, so I got to go to Home Depot to buy a new bucket. So my best case scenario is just get a catheter.
God, Mose, I don't know what's happening right now.
What the hell is he talking about?
Tom Dewey says you'll be looking for a new wife come Monday.
Oh, no, she knows. All she said was, "That's fine, sweetheart. We'll do it on Tuesday." So I won.
Good
this
woman.
This weekend is about me. It's about me sitting on the couch, eating way too much food, spending way too much money on pizza, as some call it. And hopefully going to get my money back on investment.
Investments, is that what you call them now? Thanks, Tom. We appreciate you.
Go Gamecocks.
Oh, my gosh. This is fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. Lefty Tiger says, I'm working on getting my upset pick in. I've got like 26 hours left. What are you doing? Go ahead and get it in now. By the way,
what do you need to see? He's trying to eliminate the games from tonight. He's trying to give himself a better shot. And that's a coward's way of doing it. I'm going to say it right now.
I'm telling you what, man. The Hub City Spartanburgers text line right now is lit, as they would say. I mean, the upset picks, shots at Tom, shots at Dewey, Lefty Tiger, talking about Dan B, radiator fluid. It was a wild one in the Tolo takeover today.
You know, you got to love a caller like Dewey, who calls in, goes on an epic rant. Texter says, I about turned the show off. The next texter says, A+++, call from Dewey. That comes from Tolo Phil.
You just never know. Some people
polarizing,
love Dewey.
Polarizing guy.
Some people love Dewey. Some people don't like him.
Oh, God, Alex, I thought you were going to really cut Cole's heart out. He texted in Micah Parsons to Green Bay, but he also texted in Prescott to Green Bay. What if they moved on from both?
I think I
know that's a mistake.
Alex, no, don't do that to me right now. I'm unstable.
You're going to die of a heartache right here.
We're going to talk NFL fantasy, but it's the biggest story. So we'll talk Micah Parsons, maybe the biggest story of the weekend. I guess we'll talk about it. I don't want to, but we will next. We are 5 minutes away from college football kicking off on TV right now. And Diesel, you would think that 5 minutes before kickoff, we're talking college football, but we're not. This is what we're talking. Here's Adam Schefter, by the way, live.
A four-time Pro Bowl selection who's had over 12 sacks in each of his first 4 seasons to the Green Bay Packers in exchange for 2 first-round draft picks and defensive tackle Kenny Clark. The deal has been made. Micah Parsons is being paid in Green Bay. Week 4 of the season, we have the Cowboys versus the Green Bay Packers, and the Dallas Mavericks made one of the big blockbuster trades in the NBA back in February, only to be followed up by the Dallas Cowboys in August, trading away another young cornerstone piece that they had made no progress on with a new contract, that there were no negotiations in recent months. Jerry Jones was disappointed in the fact that he felt like he had an agreement in late March with Micah Parsons that would pay him $40.5 million a year on average. The two sides never negotiated after that. Micah Parsons never practiced this summer. He had back tightness that he went to get a second opinion on in California. And there were people who said that Micah Parsons didn't have leverage, but his agent, David Mulgeta, did have leverage. He had the leverage of Parsons' talents in talking to other teams. And the Packers were highly interested all along, so much so that they were willing to pay him more than any other non-quarterback in NFL history ever has been made. And we have another blockbuster trade 1 week from when the Dallas Cowboys will be playing the Philadelphia Eagles 1 week from tonight on Thursday Night Football. There is a trade that has sent ripples across the National Football League.
I mean, Diesel, we're 60 seconds away from a college football game on TV. Like, we're on the right channel, aren't we? Yeah, we're on the right. 60 seconds from college football being played, and we hadn't even spoke about the college football game being played. I mean, what are we doing?
We're about to put toe to leather, and they're talking about the NFL. This is
crazy.
Monumental blockbuster trade. So many people are texting in telling Cole, we're sorry for your loss. And you know what? On top of that, we might have got the best Tolo name that's a part of our wire-to-wire upset picks challenge. A pick comes in from Andrea. I'm smarter than my husband, Barrett.
Oh, that's so
She's
good.
taking Northwestern plus 4.5 against Tulane.
That's a great name, Diesel. That is
a
great name. So we're going to get to the phone lines. Smack the Knives on hold, but I'll say this. Micah Parsons, number one. My thoughts, 20 minutes after it happened. Micah Parsons is one of the best players defensively on planet Earth. There's no doubt. One of the best. Like, he is one of the absolute best. And I, as a Cowboys fan, am just gutted, Diesel, that he's not on my team anymore. I hope and pray those first 2-round picks pan out.
They better both pan out.
I mean, both of them for the Dallas Cowboys. So that's where I am, number one. I'm just absolutely floored by this news. Number two, Micah Parsons' back tightness will go away in 2 days. I'm telling you it will. Watch. There will be no, all of a sudden my back tightness is gone.
It's amazing what $100 million can do for a little back tightness.
Number three, the Packers got an incredibly good player for a lot of money. I think that when you look at the Packers right now with Jordan Love, this is a trade, Diesel. And I look at this and I think, man, they're a Super Bowl contender now.
Wow.
I mean, they were already so close. 2 years ago, they ran roughshod on my Cowboys in the playoffs, just kicked us out of our own building. And now Micah Parsons in Green Bay. Micah Parsons in Green Bay, Diesel, in my mind, like I said, they're a Super Bowl contender in the NFC. My Cowboys, as far as they're concerned, a week from now, you're going to get beat by the Eagles to open the season. And you no longer have that piece on defense that was your Swiss Army knife that could play both, linebacker and D-line.
These are some excerpts, and you can find the statement in full at Adam Schefter on Twitter. Skipping over the first little bit. This is from Micah Parsons.
Okay.
Quote, I never wanted this chapter to end, but not everything was in my control. My heart has always been here, and it still is. Through it all, I never made any demands. I never asked for anything more than fairness. I only asked that the person I trust to negotiate my contract be a part of the process. This is a sad day, but not a bitter one. I'll never forget the joy of draft night, the adrenaline of running out of the tunnel, or the brotherhood I shared with my teammates, coaches, and the staff who prepared me for every single game. Those memories are mine forever. North Texas will continue to be my home in the offseason. I'll still be here giving back to the community that gave me so much, and no matter where the next chapter takes me, the bonds we built will never be broken. Thank you, Cowboys Nation, for every cheer, every moment, and every ounce of love you showed me. Wearing the star has been the honor of my life. With gratitude and love, number 11.
Yeah, whatever. I don't care about it. Like that you laughed.
Wow.
We're done with you. We're done with
Wow.
you. So no, I don't care, Micah. It's great. You loved it. No, you're gone. You're dead to me. I hope you never record another sack in the history of your career. I hope you just absolutely fall off. Not injury wise, but I hope you never record another sack. I hope you're a bust in Green Bay. And I know business is business, but I'm upset. Let's go to the phone lines. Mac the Knife wants to chime in. 844-326-3663. Mac the Knife, what are your thoughts on this?
What's up, Cole Diesel? How y'all doing
Good.
today?
Hey, Mac.
First of all, I'm going to go ahead and get you a transition into NCAA football, all right?
Okay.
So this is how I'm going to do it, though. First of all, thank you, Micah Parsons, as your local Falcon fan, Rise Up Nation. We're going to say thank you. Go ahead and go over to Green Bay. That's okay. We got to see you once a year, but it's all right. Come on, and we'll play you. We play you down in Atlanta this year, so come on down there, Micah. It's all right. To the rest of the the Cowboy Nation, you lost a good one, okay? And that's all right. That's all right. Moving on, all right? I'm going to go ahead and declare that I'm winning, all right? Number 2, that pool we're playing for the NCAA, not the NCAA, the NFL, all right? We're making sure right now I'm winning that fantasy football league, all right?
Oh.
There you go. I'm going to go ahead and lay the gauntlet down and go ahead and talk that smack, all right?
What
Then
league are you in? League 1, 2, or 3?
I'm in pool 2.
Pool 2. I got it. I got you.
Hey, Mac the Knife, have you gotten a sure upset pick yet?
Oh, yeah, I'm going to put mine in as soon as we get off the phone.
Okay.
Awesome.
Because I'm in there as well, all right?
Okay.
I'm not going to put mine out because I don't want anybody to know quite yet. All right, I'm finishing my analysis.
Well, like everybody's going to jump on your pick, Mac the Knife?
I'm going to go ahead and say go Dogs because we're playing this Saturday. And, hey, NCAA football is here. That's all I got to say. All right, go ahead and turn on your TVs right now. Football is in here week 1. Let's go Dogs.
I'll tell you what, man, our totals have been
Great call,
fired
Mac
up
the Knife.
today. Thanks, Mac.
Good stuff.
Dale, Tom, all of them been so fired up, excited. And I'll tell you what, man, before 5 p.m. today, I was as fired up as anybody. I mean, Boise State, are you kidding me? I don't know why I'm excited about Boise State tonight, but I am, or I was. And Diesel, I will say, to Mac the Knife's point, before we run the break here in about 5 minutes, I do believe, yes, I'm upset, but I do believe Micah Parsons ultimately wanted long-term security. And I do believe ultimately what he wasn't getting from Jerry was that long-term security. I don't know what happened in the negotiation process for this thing to fall flat on its face like it did. But I heard Jerry – we played the audio.
Yeah.
I heard Jerry Jones tell Stephen A. Smith, and I don't know if he's lying or if he's telling the truth. He said, look, if it was me and Micah, we'd have the deal done. However, because of this agent, we don't have the deal done. So maybe Jerry Jones is past his time when it comes to making deals. Maybe that's what it is.
Well, from the statement, if you combine the statement that I just read and Jerry Jones's comments, Jerry wanted to deal with Micah directly. Micah wanted his agent to be involved in the negotiation. And Jerry said, no, I'm dealing with you directly. So Micah said, you know what? I'm out. I'm not going to be a part of this.
And he's out.
Mac the Knife, you got some pushback from Scotty from BMW, who is in your league, otherwise known as Waffle House Hero. He says he's going to kick your butt. Let's see. Shane Barrett, newsbreaker on the stream, says, bring it on, Mac the Knife. So you got 2 guys to fight against. And let's see. Who was it? This texter got in early. This comes from E. Willie. E. Willie is taking Cincinnati plus 6.5 against Nebraska. That game is going to kick off tonight at 9 o'clock Eastern.
I'll say this, Diesel. If I'm Jerry Jones and the Green Bay Packers call me and I have a player like Micah Parsons that's not happy and they offer me 2 first-round picks, and I'm reading an article right now on NFL.com. In exchange is what I'm reading, in exchange for a compensation package of 2 first-round draft picks and 3-time Pro Bowler Kenny Clark. So you get Kenny Clark and 2 first-round draft picks. I'm still trying to read and find out when the years of the draft picks are. So Tolos, if you have that information or have seen that already, let us know. I'm still reading all this article or reading all these articles right now on the details of this. Again, Micah Parsons did get the $188 million deal with, listen to this, $136 million guaranteed, Diesel, that will make him the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history.
Wow.
Every year he will be bringing home, well, not bringing, he will be making $47 million a year as the non-quarterback, the highest one ever. I will say, if I'm Jerry Jones and they came to me, 2 first-round picks is very attractive, but I would have wanted somebody, Diesel, that was a little bit higher caliber of player from Green Bay.
I would have wanted some conditional top 10 picks.
Yeah.
I think that's worth 2 top 10 picks. I know you really don't make deals like that, but man, to say you got to give me 2 top 10s sometime in the next 5 years.
I am still at a loss for words. And you gave up again. So you gave up Micah Parsons, a proven player, for draft picks who you just don't know, man. And those 2 first rounders, could they pan out? Could they be big? Yeah, you're going to get 2 good players, hopefully on rookie deals. It'll be good for your franchise for, 3 to 4 years on that rookie deal. But man, the Green Bay Packers, they hit the home run on this one. They got a really good player. I will say this, the only thing to keep an eye on is from the Green Bay perspective, Diesel, watching how Micah Parsons now ties up their salary cap.
Yeah.
I don't know if that'll be an issue or not, but you do have Jordan Love, a really good quarterback, on your roster who's still young. You now have Micah Parsons, the highest paid non-quarterback in the league, on your defense. I still think the Packers are going to make the most of it, but let's think 3-4 years from now if we see repercussions from this deal because the Packers were willing to pay him so much.
Are the Packers going to have to force Jordan Love to take less, or are they going to try to force Jordan Love to take less so they can afford to pay Micah?
I'd hope not, right? Because I love Jordan Love. I think he's one of the best quarterbacks, best up-and-coming quarterbacks in the league. He's special. So to put a bow on it, before we run to a break, I'm devastated as a Cowboys fan. I know other Cowboy fans listening in the upstate probably feel the same way. There's really no part of me right now that's content with any part of the deal at all whatsoever. Again, I'm trying to find the positives of this deal, Diesel, but so far I just haven't. You lost your best player on the football team. So maybe the positives will come out of this later, but right now there are no positives. This is an absolute disgrace, smack in the face from Jerry Jones to every single Dallas Cowboy fan out there. And I hope and pray that Jerry's no longer the owner of this team very, very soon. It's miserable. It is miserable. But the misery, it's continuing.
Toll's going to be walking around the rest of the day with a black cloud just raining down just on you. And if you see somebody with their head hung low, ask them if they're a Dallas Cowboy fan. They might have been doing that before anyway.
You might be right on that, but golly, it's got to be worse today, man.
Dan B pointing out that Shane Barrett and his wife Andrea, we have some Tolo on Tolo violence in Andrea's "I'm smarter than my husband" Barrett name for her picks in the Upset Picks Challenge. We'll see how that plays out by the end of the year. Now you got to back it up, Andrea Barrett. If you can't beat them, then we got to publicly shame you.
That's
I guess
right.
That's what we're gonna have to do.
And Diesel,
I know we got Dan and Just Jess with a little bit of husband and wife Tolo on Tolo violence as well. There might be some more husband and wife Tolos playing.
Yeah. We need more husband and wives playing the Upset Picks Challenge.
Husbands and wives
playing the Upset Picks. By the way, Tolos, Football for week 1 has officially kicked off. Boise State and South Florida are underway. Boise State's gashing them right now. 11:15 to go, and we have football back. All is right with the world, kind of, except for us Cowboy fans. When we come back, Cole, we just had the engagement heard around the world a few days ago. Travis and Taylor Swift are married, and I'm just going to go ahead and start calling him Travis Swift at this point. But the question is, do we think Travis Kelce is going to get to party hardy at a strip club, or is Taylor Swift going to block that and say, nah, bro, you're not partying with naked ladies when you're with me? We'll talk about it next.
Look, I know you're happy to be out there playing football, Byron Brown, but you shouldn't be smiling coming off the field after going 3 and out and taking what, like a 15-yard sack?
Oh, I thought he fumbled.
No, he didn't fumble the ball. Boise State fumbled the ball in their opening possession. South Florida got the ball and did exactly nothing with it. Ran the ball the wrong direction. They got sacked. Byron Brown, senior quarterback, he was throwing himself into really tight coverage.
Good.
Could have got himself picked off. I know you have some pizza on the line in this game. So
pepperoni. Mushroom. Sorry.
Still 0-0 in the opening quarter. Again, the first and only game that is on right now being played at the FBS level. At 6 o'clock, there are 2 games kicking off, Ohio and Rutgers. I don't think anybody took that game, but Rutgers is favored by 15.5. And then we've got Lafayette plus 21.5 if anybody wants to take it. That game's kicking off here in just about 10 minutes at 6 o'clock. Later on this evening, 7 o'clock is when things really get going. I'm not going to read all of them, but you got East Carolina, NC State, Wyoming, Akron, Elon, Duke, Buffalo, Minnesota. That's the 8 o'clock game tonight. That's the one that I took in the Upset Picks Challenge.
Say it again.
Buffalo, Minnesota.
That was what, 17 points?
17.5 points. Yes.
You're brave this week.
I think Buffalo's a really good team, and they bring back a really good group of starters. And PJ Fleck, he's in a rowboat up there, but he's rowing with like a toothpick. I don't know what he's doing up there. Nebraska, Cincinnati. Dan's upset that we had a Tolo take this game earlier. That was who was it? E. Willie. E. Willie took that one. And Dan B said that E. Willie can kick rocks. All right. Darth Chosen getting his upset pick in. He is taking Coastal plus 11.5 against Virginia. I think that's a really possible upset.
I think that's an interesting game, man. Is that tomorrow night? I think it is.
I think so, yeah.
It's not tonight. I did look at tonight's slate. I think that is – we talked about it yesterday with Tony Elliott. I think that could be a really good game. I don't know what Coastal has 2025-wise. Oh, my gosh. They about just do a pick.
Scotty USF from BMW breaking the news. This came 1 minute ago. Scotty from BMW messages in and says that the Dallas Cowboys just traded away the best defensive player in NFL for maybe 2 top 15 to 25 picks. That's not breaking news, Scotty.
Happened
like an hour ago.
Thanks, Scotty, for the reminder. Thanks. Appreciate it. Neither team, by the way, I don't think wants to win this game. Literally, Boise State just got the ball back and they're already punting.
And yeah.
I mean, this is going to be interesting. You hear me? I love it. College football.
Look at that. Packed out Raymond James Stadium, maybe half full. For God's sakes, you're in Tampa. You can't get 50,000 people to show up.
South Florida what's that say about their program?
That's the crazy thing. South Florida was like a sexy program for a while there. And then they fell off and let UCF come in and take their spot. Like nobody gave a rip about UCF. Weren't they FCS like 15 years ago?
Probably so.
Like they came out of nowhere and just snatched it away from South Florida. You could have been playing big college football, South Florida, but nope. You couldn't figure that one out. Again, we got you, Darth Chosen, with your Coastal and Virginia pick. Buckeye Mike says, row the boat, baby. Let's see here. Go Pack Go from RJ. The Packers play at Dallas on September 28th, Sunday night football. Cole, we're pretty much out of time, and, we won't really spend more than about 30 seconds on this. But do you think Taylor Swift's going to let Travis Kelce have a bachelor party with strippers?
With strip, I have no idea.
Like that's the thing you do, right? You go to a strip club.
I think
throw a couple $1,000 around
too. I mean, you're telling me they won't have a party? I think they will.
They will have a party. Taylor won't let him have a party.
Though, you don't think so?
No. Like our bachelor parties creepy nowadays, or are people still do them?
No,
I didn't do a bachelor party. We eloped. We just ran off.
There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
Saved a lot of money.
Boise State, by the way, has already punted back to South Florida. South Florida has the football with 7:30 to go in the first quarter. So college football is back, baby. We are so back, even though the day got ruined about an hour ago. Yes, Scotty, I did watch the Cowboys Netflix documentary, and it is amazing. It really is. If you haven't watched that Netflix documentary yet, you need to. It's incredible. They did a really, really good job with that. but I don't want to talk about it anymore. Some of the best audio in the sports world, a good old-fashioned audio blitz coming up next. We have Kaye Hendrix, the head football coach of the Furman Paladins, at 6:22. But let's hit you with some of that audio next. Well, a lot happening on this Thursday show. I about said Wednesday show. I wish it was Wednesday after the news we got today with
I think
the
you
Dallas
mispronounced
Cowboys.
Doomsday.
Doomsday. That's a good one, too. Welcome into hour number 4 of the show. He's Diesel. I'm Cole Bryson. And I know we're trying to break an upset picks record, but I think we might have broken a record today, Diesel, for the most ever text in one show on the Hub City Spartanburgers text line. I mean, you Tolos, hats off to you. Y'all have been phenomenal today. And I know football's back, and a lot of you just now tuning in for the first time since probably March. And I get it. You don't like any other sports, so you only listen to us during football season. Maybe you'll change after the year, after the season's over with, but we do appreciate you. And boy, it's been a busy, busy day. I want to remind you that we have Kaye Hendrix, the head football coach of the Furman Paladins, joining us in 20 minutes from right now on the Fan Upstate. Every Thursday at 6:22, you will be able to hear your coach if you are a Furman fan. By the way, Diesel still scoreless. 4.5 minutes to go first quarter. Boise State and South Florida. Neither team really wants to score, I don't think. They've just been punting back and forth all night.
No, and clearly South Florida doesn't want to win because they went for it on fourth and about 1.5 yards from where were they? Their own 39?
39-yard line.
On their own 39, and Boise State now seems to be moving the ball fairly well. They just put the ball down around the 15.
Let's go. Keep moving. Let's go, Boise State. Need you tonight. Let's throw some audio at the Tolos in this very segment. I want to remind you, Tolos, that you can still get your upset picks in for another hour, really about like 55 minutes. Scotty from BMW and James, they're chatting it up on the stream. 125 Tolos watching there, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. But Diesel, this news, if it weren't August 22nd, we would be talking about this for 3 days straight. But it's football season. This kind of slipped under the rug. In case you missed it, we did discuss it very quickly earlier. Here's this audio from Dawn Staley. We listen and react.
I interviewed for the Knicks. I did. It was the same interview that everybody else that was in their candidate pool. Same thing. Went in. Yeah, I mean, it was like hours, but in the interview, I thought I did pretty well. I was well prepared for the interview, right? If the Knicks would have offered me the job, I would have had to do it, okay? Not just for me, it's for women, for just to break open that I would have to, and it's the New York Knicks, and I'm from Philly, but it's the freaking New York Knicks.
It's the freaking New York Knicks. Dawn Staley's right on that aspect. So she joined this podcast, and is, by the way, it's Post Moves, the podcast. She announced that she did indeed interview for the Knicks head coaching position. Diesel. They went with former Kings head coach Mike Brown, and now Dawn Staley's out on public record talking about her interviewing for this job, wanting this job. Do you realize, I mean, I don't know, you and I don't know how close Dawn Staley was in terms of the finalist, but this would have been massive.
Yeah, would have been a monumental moment in sports. We've never had, I don't know about MLS coaches or anything like that, but we've never had a female head coach of a male-driven sports league team. I think Dawn Staley, granted, the game is different, and hopefully – that's the reason why the Knicks ultimately went with Mike Brown. I mean, Mike's been around the league for a long time. He's got over 450 wins under his belt. He's about a 60% win percentage kind of coach.
Good coach.
He's good. I think I don't think it was a smart move moving on from Budenholz to go get him. But, I mean, hey, do what you do, right?
Yep.
Go for it. Dawn coaches a completely different brand of basketball, right? WNBA, or not WNBA, but college basketball and women's basketball is a different brand of basketball from the men's game. That's not to say that Dawn isn't just a brilliant basketball mind, because she obviously is. Maybe that's the reason why they chose not to go with her.
No, it makes sense. I mean, Mike Brown, to your point, has been around the block for a while. What he did in Sacramento.
Tom Thibodeau. Why did I say Budenholz? Tom Thibodeau.
Yeah, Tom, you're right.
My bad.
What Mike Brown did in Sacramento in a very short time. If you remember back to the Western Conference playoffs, Mike Brown almost knocked off Steph Curry and the Warriors about 3 years ago in a really good playoff series. Mike Brown's a really good coach, but if somehow, some way that would have happened, I mean, you talk about monumental. It would have been monumental if Dawn Staley were to have been hired as the head coach of the Knicks. I don't know, to your point, I don't know how it would have gone. I think it would have gone, okay. Like you said, I think Dawn Staley knows basketball, but to hear her come out and talk about that audio, that interview, it's fascinating. So it's really, really interesting to see if we'll ever have a female at that level. I don't know that we will, but yeah. I'll tell you this, Boise State doesn't want to score or win the game either, Diesel. The quarterback fumbled the football at the 1 yard line. So listen to this. He fumbles the ball at the 1, falls on it. Next play, 3rd and goal. They snap it, false start. Oh. Now they're backed up. We all love that college football's back, but this first quarter has been absolutely atrocious. I mean, did these teams practice all summer? What have they been doing?
I have an idea here, Cole.
All right.
How about Kim Mulkey as head coach of the Golden State Warriors?
Oh, my God.
Those outfits in San Francisco should fit right in.
It'd be awesome. It'd be something, wouldn't it? It would be something. So that's the audio from Dawn Staley. I'm glad that came out because it was really interesting. By the way, Boise State finally did get in the end zone on 3rd and goal. Touchdown Boise State. They're up 6-0 with about a minute to go in the third, or in the first quarter, rather.
I know this is talking purely hypotheticals here, right? But how would you South Carolina fans have felt if Dawn Staley took that job?
What's her name?
With the New York Knicks, had she been offered the job, right? I mean,
say it again.
I know that South Carolina has the pull, and they have the resources, and they have the fan base to basically get whoever they want outside of maybe Kim Mulkey. I don't know. You might be able to get Kim Mulkey.
Gamecock fans would have been upset. There's no doubt.
Yeah, you'd have been happy for her that she achieved such a great thing. But man, this program,
I know
it's almost impossible to believe that Lady Gamecocks program would have maintain what they've built.
There's no doubt. We'll get back to some audio in a second, this audio blitz. Get to the phone lines in a second as well. I did want to read this funny message, Diesel. Zach, one of our Tolos, he left this message on the stream, and he said, "Thanks, guys. Just busy selling phones, but now all my customers are listening to Wire to Wire. So
yeah,
bring them on, baby. If you're buying a phone from Zach right now, you make sure you buy 2.
Zach works at the cell phone store in Malden.
No, near you.
And I was next door grabbing lunch one day, and I walk out, and he's like, "Diesel." I was like, "Whoa, what?" He's like, it was Zach. I recognize Zach's face because he and I have been, Facebook buddies, and then probably talked to each other on social media many times over the years. It's like that. I know that face. And as soon as he said Zach, I was like, bingo. I knew exactly where he was from. Awesome, man. Zach, if you haven't yet, and I don't know if you haven't yet, get us your upset pick for this week.
Let's take another visit to the phone lines. The phone lines have been active today. I love it. Guy wants to chime in. What's up, Guy?
Hey, I just realized why it's called Week 0. Did you see the Kansas State, Iowa State game?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
I mean, for the little while that I watched it, and I just had to get off it, it just seemed like nobody wanted to score, just like the game you're talking about now.
Yeah. Well, that was a different scenario. That was awful weather and sloppy field conditions.
No, I understand, but you're also talking about another game now where nobody. It's
true.
Just Week 0 is just where you let people get football in.
Why don't they just call it week and spell it differently?
That's right. You just don't know. JD brought it up. Dewey brought it up earlier. There's just so many unknowns. It's almost like teams have to get acclimated for a few quarters,
Okay, and while we're at it, I'll be the only one in the upstate. Rutgers wins. So forget the point spread, no upset. So it's nice when you can be the only one doing something. So
Rutgers.
Guy, are you taking that in the upset picks challenge or no?
No, I mean I want Rutgers to win. They need the conference. They need the victory. We'll talk later in the season. They have Oregon for homecoming.
Oh my God.
That's gonna be tough.
Tell me the reason why you have a homecoming game. It's not to go up against the gods.
Yeah. Yeah, that's usually the purpose.
You're supposed to play Ohio as your homecoming game.
That's right. Thanks, Guy.
Right. Take care.
Good call. Josh on the Facebook stream, Diesel ask, better record, App or UNC?
Wow. Oh, man.
Wow. Fireball.
You asked me this. You had me pick my own team a couple of weeks ago, and I think if I recall correctly, I probably had App going 8-4, maybe 7-5. I just don't know. I just don't know about Dowell Loggins. I know he's a smart guy. I know he worked with Lenora Sellers and Spencer Rattler.
Yeah.
I know that he worked in the NFL because, by God, he doesn't go more than 5 minutes without saying, hey, when I was in the NFL, I worked with this player or that player. I just don't know. I don't know what he's going to be as a head coach. All I know is that he better not lose to Charlotte or his ass is out.
What is that tomorrow night?
That is tomorrow night.
Yeah, Friday night. Bank of America.
Yeah, they're playing at Bank of America.
Wow.
I would, if it was me, I would close the upper bowl and I would just sell lower bowl.
No doubt. Nick Saban had some advice for Ty Simpson before his first career start. Here's that audio.
Yeah, it's funny you say that. I talked to Coach Saban here recently, and I asked him the same question. I was like, what do I need to tell myself going into a game like this on just, how to not get so anxious, how to not, get nervous, how to not make it bigger than what it is. And he was just like, hey, just play within yourself. Make sure that you keep your team out of negative plays and negative drives. And he always said that if you end the drive with a punt, a kick, a PAT, a field goal, or a punt, then you're in good shape and you're not dead in the water. So I'm taking that approach of just making sure, like, hey, I'm going to make sure that I march down the field and do everything I can to move the ball forward and not go backward.
So, hot take here for a second. You ready for this? Diesel, it's a terrible look that quarterback Ty Simpson is having to call the old football coach to get advice on how to handle himself in this upcoming season when, last I checked, he has a football coach on staff named Kalen DeBoer. I know that might be a little bit of a hot take, but is Kalen DeBoer not giving him advice? Is he not doing his job? I mean, come on, what you're still calling the old girlfriend? I mean, what are we doing here?
Yeah, I mean, I hope Nick Saban is deferring to Kalen DeBoer. Be like, look, he's your coach now.
Yeah, that's what I'd say, right?
The advice that he gives, the instruction that he gives, go with that, right? I mean, obviously he's going to have a soft spot for a player that he recruited, but you're right. That is a bad look.
It's weird.
That is having a new girlfriend while texting the old girlfriend.
It's just weird. It's just weird. How about this news? We talked about this, but man, hearing it, I know it excites a lot of you Gamecock fans out there.
Spencer Rattler is our starting quarterback. Really, really excited for him. He's done an awesome job this offseason. So he's just been consistent. He's made some really good decisions throughout this whole entire process. And, his ability to make plays with his arm and his feet have certainly shown up. And so I'm really, really excited about Spencer. He's earned this opportunity. He's going to do a tremendous job for us. At the same time, we're really, really fortunate. We got Tyler. Love the development that he's had over the course of this entire offseason. He's done a number of things for the first time in his career, just navigating that. And I think that's an important aspect when you're a younger quarterback, to let the whole process play itself out. I thought he capped it off with just an excellent performance against Denver on the last preseason game. I thought he did a really, really good job. And so I'm a big believer in just the importance of developing quarterbacks, developing them the right way. There's a process for both of these guys. Give them the space to develop. And we think we got two guys that are going to have great careers for us.
Kellen Moore talking pretty high of old former Gamecock quarterback Diesel. That's exciting, man.
Also talking really fast.
Oh, he does. By the way, USF just threw a bomb down the field. They're finally moving the offense into the first quarter. Boise State leads 7-0. It's still hard listening to Kellen Moore. I mean, the Cowboys fan, we used to have Kellen Moore, used to have Micah Parsons, used to have a good team. I don't know what's going to happen now.
Used to have relevancy.
Yeah, I know. We might go. We're down bad. Let's just say that. We're down bad. How about this is funny? Todd Bowles turned the tables on this reporter yesterday.
It'll be good to get in the Florida season.
Todd Bowles, overthinker.
Jenna Lane, over-asker.
I love it. Taking shots is – I'm going to say something like that. You got to take shots back at them. And then the last piece of audio I have, Diesel, I want to know if you and the Tolos out there agree or disagree with Jordan Rogers. Jordan Rogers is a reporter that was on Get Up this morning talking about one quarterback in the SEC and his hype not matching the tape. This is interesting.
But I will say, and I'm going to say this, I don't know what you guys talked about when I went off air. The hype doesn't match the tape. There are good things, and there are some good things, but the hype or the tape to me doesn't tell you got a first-round draft pick or a top 10 or a number 1 overall draft pick or a Heisman hopeful. I think he's going to go into Ohio State. He's going to struggle because he hasn't played anybody. The last time we saw him against a really good defense was Georgia, and he looked out of place, right? He looked really good against UTSA, Louisiana Monroe, and Mississippi State, the worst defense in the SEC. I think there's still a lot for him to grow and a lot we need to see, like Lewis said.
So who was Jordan Rogers talking about there, Diesel? Arch Manning. Again, he said it. The hype doesn't match the tape. Expects Arch to struggle against Ohio State, just as Arch did against Georgia. And to his point, he did. He did look a little bit rough against a really good Georgia defense. I know there's been a lot of hype around Arch Manning, and rightfully so because he has a last name that we all know. But would we be shocked if Arch goes out here on Saturday and just doesn't perform?
No, I wouldn't. I mean, he's still a first-year starter. I know that he played some last year, but this is the first time this Texas football team is his team. I think he's going to be good. I don't know if he's going to be good on Saturday, right? It takes time. It takes time to build into these things. Not every player is going to come in and live up to the hype immediately in game one. Look at Kaye Klubnik. He didn't live up to the hype at all in his first couple seasons there at Clemson. And obviously the hype is still building, right? He had a good year last year, got this team into the playoff, and the hype is extremely high this year. Tall Tigers fan 24 says, "Can I pick Texas as my upset pick? That just doesn't seem right." Well, you can pick it, and now you have, because you texted it in, and I'm taking that as your pick. It's worth 1.5 points, Tall Tiger fan 24. You can take it. It's just not going to help you much in this challenge, right? Because
it's not a lot of points.
It's a rolling season long tally. You're supposed to go for enough points that's going to get you up on the tippy top of the leaderboard, and 1.5 point spreads are not going to do that. Just make sure that when you text in your pick, you give the name, your name, the game, and the spread. So you would want to text that in. Tall Tigers fan, Texas plus 1.5 against Ohio State. That's how you would text that in.
I will also say, Diesel, I am very impressed with the amount of new Tolos that we've had join the Upset Picks Challenge. I mean, hats off to you. I mean, y'all have really shown out, and I love to see it. We all love to see it. So many new Tolos joining this Upset Picks Challenge, and it's a lot of fun. It's more fun when you hit, but even when you don't, it's still fun. I can attest to that.
That's right. If you don't score, if you don't hit in the first couple of weeks, keep playing, because you can go on a heater and still play and still perform well in this challenge. Our goal for today was to hit 120. We're at 112 right now. So I need 7 more of you Tolos to send in your upset pick before the end of the show. You got just about 41 minutes left. But when we come back, Cole, let's talk some Southern Conference football. Let's talk Furman Paladins football as they face William and Mary this weekend. Head coach of the Furman Paladins, Clay Hendrix, coming your way next on the Fan Upstate. Well, we're not even halfway through our first game of the year. We've already seen our first awful blown call. How do you call a hold on the center with that? I know you Tolos are just listening. This is a audio medium, but go back and watch that touchdown run from USF that just got called back. Terrible call. Let's go to the phone lines right now and talk to the head football coach of the Furman Paladins, Kaye Hendrix. Coach, I know that you're just a couple of days away from playing your own football game, but are you watching any action tonight?
I'm sure I'll watch a little bit. We just got off practice not long ago, but I'm sure I'll watch a little bit tonight. I think there's probably quite a few games, and it's great to get football season started. This is we played these Thursday nights before. I'm sure I'll watch a little bit. I got the shakes when I heard you talking about that holding call there. I could hear you say that, so I'm glad probably I didn't see that.
I mean, he really did. The center really just turned the blocker's shoulders to the side, and he fell down, and it was a beautiful touchdown run where the quarterback broke about 5 tackles for 35 yards or so, and they called it back. Terrible.
It was iffy for sure. Joined by head football coach Kaye Hendrix right here on the Fan Upstate. You can hear Coach Kaye Hendrix every Thursday evening, 6:22 p.m. Coach, it's a big one. You mentioned the practice field. The season opener finally has arrived. When you got on the field this week from your guys and your staff, did you notice a little bit extra juice just knowing that the season's finally here?
Yeah, I mean, I think you see that every year. It's always game week. You get our injured guys are in yellow jerseys. If they can't do everything, they wear a yellow jersey. And a lot of those yellow jerseys seem to disappear. When it gets to be game week, guys get a little better. And I think we didn't have a lot of those. And I think the other thing, the old weather's helped.
Yeah.
Golly, this weather's been I don't know if I've ever seen an August like this. You always compare it to other football August because that's what I've done for 40 years. It's been practicing football as a coach. And I don't know if we've had an August quite maybe as cool as this.
Yeah, Coach, I know you played your college ball at Furman, been around Furman for a long time, and you're fully aware of false fall here in the upstate of South Carolina. It can feel cool for a couple of days, but that heat may come back. Your Furman Paladins picked to finish 6th in the SoCon this year in the preseason coaches poll. Do you like to use stuff like that as motivation for your guys? Are you a bulletin board material kind of motivator, or is it, motivate them just to be better than they were themselves in the previous week?
I don't know. I mean, I think you point things out like that, but where will we pick? I think we picked 2nd last year. Where did we finish? So it really means nothing. I was here when we were picked 4th and won the national championship. So it just doesn't. Our team is so different from the team a year ago. A lot of the same young guys are back, but it's just going to come down to who can go out and play well. And I don't know. I think I'd like to be picked first every year, but man, that's a tough road.
Yeah.
To be picked first, I was. In 23, we were picked first and we finished first, which is really, really hard to do. But it doesn't matter. We'll go play Saturday, and half the teams in the country will have a loss.
Yep.
And so everybody feels good right now because they're still undefeated. But it'll come down to who can go play well, who can continue to get better each week. And I really think we got a good chance of anybody in our league. I just look around and our retention and player development and stuff. I really like where we are.
Coach, a season ago against the team you're playing Saturday, William and Mary, you guys came out on the wrong end of things, especially on the ground game. Now, I asked you about the ground game a week ago. A season ago, William and Mary rushed for 384 yards. You guys in that game rushed for just 84 yards. So you look at the score, obviously lopsided. You don't like that. But what do you look at when you look at matchups, especially this one with William and Mary we're talking about, in terms of not only how to win the game this time around, but how to find a little bit more balance on offense, but also not allowing them to control and dictate the game as they did a season ago?
Yeah, well, it was funny if you watch that game. We've got the ball with, I think, 7 minutes to go, down 6 inside their 20.
Yeah,
and ended up having to kick a field goal, and then they took a long drive and went the length of the field. Probably got 80 of those rushing yards on the last drive. finally go up by 2 scores. But let the quarterback get loose a couple of times, absolutely. I'm a guy that believes in you got to be able to run the ball and you got to be able to defend the run. And we weren't nearly good enough at either one. I think each game's a little bit different how it kind of plays out. I think that was Trey Hedden's. I think it was his second start, but it was really only the second game he ever played in college. And I look at receiver. We had a true freshman starting that game. We had a true freshman playing tight end. So I don't know. Each game in itself is different. They're a team I think is built a little bit like we are. We probably want to throw it around a little more than they do. So it'll be, I really think probably who runs it best will have the best chance to win the football game. But I also think for us to win at the level we want to win at, we've got to be balanced. And we feel like we've got a great group of receivers. We have quarterbacks who can get them the ball. And I'm excited about our offensive line and our run game. But, we got to go do it on Saturday.
Clay Hendrix, head football coach of the Furman Paladins. You talked about really liking your player development in this offseason, Coach. Can you go into some more specifics? I know these guys have another year of maturity on them, but so far through camp, are you seeing just more crispness, fewer mistakes, more size on them? What are you seeing there?
Well, I think I could just say yes to all of that. I mean, we're a year older, a lot more mature. This time a year ago, we were getting ready to go to Oxford, Mississippi and play. I think at that time, the number 5 ranked team in the country. I'd never seen a group that talented. I really didn't know very much about us. We were so young and inexperienced. And then we got kind of wiped out injury-wise. And I came out of the Ole Miss game, didn't know any more about us. Probably played game 2. And I think we played this game against William Mary was game 4 and still was trying to figure out just what we could do, who we were. But I think it's all those things. I just think see a much more confident football team. Kind of hard to be confident when you're a little bit unsure, when you haven't had success. I don't know a lot of real young teams are very confident. But I just sense a lot more confidence. I know I just think I have a really good sense about what we're capable of doing. Again, got to go play. Yeah. We've had great competition, throughout camp. I think we've got the best kicker in the country, which gives us a great chance to be really good in special teams. And so, again, I think we've done the things we need to do to give us a chance to go play well and have a great year. And we just got to go make it happen on the field.
Coach, when it comes to game planning, you mentioned last year's team, right? Younger, inexperienced, especially with your quarterback a season ago. Now, a year later, a much more veteran team, as you just talked about. How does that impact your week-to-week game planning, if at all?
Well, I think the biggest thing, and I've said this a few times, point finger at me. I don't think we probably did a good enough job from 22, 23. We had Tyler Huff playing quarterback and a really, really veteran team in all areas, and probably didn't make some changes we needed to make to adapt probably a little more to our personnel and our strengths. That certainly was a huge emphasis in the offseason. I think we're doing quite a few things different. To the average person, maybe they don't see that. But just trying to play the strength of your players. And again, Tyler Huff was a guy that made a ton of plays with his feet. He's one of our leading rushers, and we didn't even have close to that a year ago. But just now look at people ask me what our strengths are. I don't know. I think our receiving core, our ability to quarterback to distribute the ball. I really like how our offensive line's played, and I think we got a chance to be a really balanced group offensively, which I think makes it really tough to defend. Dwayne Vaughn, who our defense coordinator has been here for 15 years, and he kind of keeps saying that about us too. Man, we can stress him in so many ways, and so hopefully that's going to carry over to again to the field on Saturday.
Coach, you got a home game to start the season. It's been a couple of years since you've had that 2:00 kickoff against William and Mary. What's your day going to look like? What time's that alarm going off? What time are you headed to campus, and what time are you getting home finally at the end of the night?
Well, if it's me, I'd kick it off at about 11:45 or noon. We go at 2. We do a little reminder meetings at 10 a.m. followed right by pregame meal at 10:15. I don't know. I don't usually even need an alarm. I can wake up whenever I kind of need to wake up, but we don't have an early start. So we'll do that, and then we do an 80-minute warm up. Before the game, where we do a full team warm up at the 80-minute mark on the clock, and we're all creatures of habit. We'll go through our pregame routine, which we've done. We've kind of gone through that twice in the preseason. So you do have some new guys. This whole team hadn't been together, and I don't know. It's two teams that probably want to run the ball, so sometimes the clock runs a little more, but you never quite know about that either. And I don't know. Usually when I kind of slip out of there, it's pretty quiet. I'm not one to stay over there forever, but I don't know. You'll get home, and hopefully, it's certainly a lot better going home when you've had when you got a win, and if that's the case, you might enjoy watching a game that's on later that night. But that's kind of who we are, and like I said, I think we've had great preparation. I told our kids I think they're confident in the preparation they had, but again, got to go play. And first games are so much about making adjustments. I've talked about some changes we've made. I'm sure they've made some too. They have a new offensive coordinator, new offensive line coach, and a new tight end coach. So we've spent more time watching those coaches' tape probably than we did William and Mary's. They lost a lot of their skilled guys offensively from a year ago. So, it's a little bit of a chess match there to start the season. And, and then after 1 week, you have video. You have video of an opponent. So you see the only 25 team that you've seen. So that, again, it goes back to that people ranking you. It doesn't matter what 2014 did. It's a totally different year. And, it's really what we can go put on the field on Saturday.
Coach, you mentioned him earlier in the interview. Your kicker, Ian Williams, you said you might have one of the best kickers in the country. At the FCS level, he could do it all. He could place kick, field goals, as well as punt. What does that role on the Furman Paladins look like for Ian in 2025?
Well, Ian has been. I tell you, in this world that we're in, Ian probably is one of those guys that could have gone to the portal and half the SEC would have taken him. And he just never even wavered, it never even came up. And he's a graduate now. He's in graduate school here. And, I think he made, 257 yarders last year. I really wouldn't even hesitate from 60 yards if the conditions are right. Usually kicks it in the end zone on kickoffs.
Wow.
I think where we're going to see the biggest change in him, he kind of got forced into the punting duties a year ago. And I thought he was solid there. But I think this August, he's just that guy that's got the ability to completely change the field, even in the punting game. We have a new long snapper. A long snapper was new last year, and so he's back. So you feel like all those pieces are back better together again. So, just a ton of really wasn't one of his better games. He missed 2 short kicks in this game a year ago, but no, he's certainly a weapon to have on your team.
Coach, when the game is over, and I'm not talking about this Saturday's game, but just in general, and your sports information director is handing you the post-game stat sheet, where do your eyes always go to first?
I'm an old offensive line coach. I'll probably go to rushing yards. I don't know. You kind of feel like you have a feel for how the game went, and I've looked at it when we won. I've looked at it when we've lost. And probably, you probably look at it a little different when you lose, and it's a little more of a why, where were we poor? I think probably rushing yards. I think probably third down. How good were you on third down on offense and defense? You usually have a pretty good idea how many turnovers there were, which was really one of our biggest killers a year ago. It's just the number of turnovers was really the whole difference kind of in our season. And in this game year ago was big. So those are probably things I look at initially there. And I'm not sure that's ever changed a whole lot with me.
Yeah. Coach, before we let you go, last question. Quarterback Trey Hedden, a season ago in this game, you mentioned it was one of his early starts, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Is he being asked to do a little bit more, a little bit less, not only in this game Saturday, but in 2025?
I don't know if he's being. I just think I think he's just the maturity part of it. Just being he was an early enrollee a year ago. So he'd been here through the spring. So you think about it now, he's been in our program for a year and a half. He's a true sophomore. He's always been able to handle a good bit mentally. I think right now the players around him were so much better. than maybe what he got put into that situation a year ago. And I think the thing he's learned to do is just, he had way too many turnovers, things that I think we can fix. Taking care of the ball, understanding, when I got a lot of people around me, I got to take care of it a little bit better. He's always been a pretty accurate guy. He's got a strong arm. I think the leadership part is what's changed so much for him. Last year he was so worried about what he had to do. I think now he has a good grasp of that. You hear him being much more vocal. I just think he's much more confident. And I think he and even Carson Jones, our other quarterback, Carson, had his best August. And he's a 4-year guy. So I think I've said this. We may be the only team in the country that had all 3 quarterbacks come back from last year. So we had all 3 of those guys back. We had really good competition in August, and I'm excited to watch him go play. I mean, he can throw the football, and he has a good command of what we're doing, and so it'll be fun to see what kind of happens.
Coach, we appreciate your time as always. Best of luck Saturday, and we'll talk to you next week.
That'd be great. It's always great being with you.
Absolutely.
Go get him, Coach.
Kaye Hendrix, the head football coach of the Furman Paladins. Diesel, we have the USF Boise State game pulled up on the monitor on the TV here in the studios. Boise State, or USF rather, was so close to scoring. And number 16 caught the ball, 5-yard line, got popped.
Oh,
ball comes out. I don't know if they're going to rule this complete, though. Watch, 1, 2, 3.
That's going to be complete.
Pass. Yep.
Ball's out.
Yeah. Gosh, man. Boise State fell on.
Are you sure they're going to call Boise State falling on the ball?
Did they not?
I don't know. It looked
you're
to
right.
me from
It
that
says first and goal.
Yeah, it looked to me
They
from that
get
angle
back?
like he got it back in.
Oh my
now, there
gosh.
was 3 Boise State players
I
that
didn't realize
jumped
he
on the
got
ball.
it back.
That jumped right there in front of him, but he scooped it back in.
Oh my gosh.
How about it?
This is a wild game happening, and the others underway now as well on tonight's college football slate. Right now you have, let's see, Boise State leading USF 7-3 midway through the second quarter. You also have Ohio and Rutgers underway. Rutgers is up 10-7, and Bowling Green leads Lafayette 7-0. But that game has been delayed, Diesel.
Man, imagine getting all this hyped up and ready to go for your season. You get partway through the first quarter, and then
Delayed.
bam, weather
I know,
delay.
man.
That's
Bad.
awful.
It is.
Not fun, man. Not fun.
I'll tell you what, we so much appreciate Coach Kaye Hendrix for hopping on with us. Really good stuff there. Best of luck to those guys Saturday, 2 o'clock, right here in Greenville. We will finish the show next right here on the Fan Upstate. Final call. Upset Picks Challenge for the Thursday show closes in about, let's see, 3 minutes, three and a half minutes. I know the show says we go till 7, but
time's a ticking.
We got 3.5 minutes. That's it. You gotta get them in at 844-326-3663. And Diesel will have tomorrow as well, but tomorrow's it. The Upset Picks Challenge. How many more do we need, by the way? Are we still a few short for today?
Our goal for today was 120. We're at 115. How about 5 more Tolos? 5 more Tolos who haven't gotten your upset pick in. Do it. By the way, we got 4 Tolos who have taken this upset, South Florida, plus 5.5 over Boise State.
Well, you know what? That's trending that direction. Boise State.
Long way.
And 30. A big Friday show coming your way tomorrow, though. I got to talk about this. Tomorrow, these will be the final chance you and I will ever get to go on the radio and talk about College Game Day with Lee Corso.
Oh, man, you had to bring that up.
Yeah, I think we're going to talk about that in hour number 1 tomorrow.
Sucks. I'm going to say I'm not one for like AI technology. I am not one for like holographic technology, but by God, can we get holograph Corso on game day?
In a younger version, right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Maybe I shouldn't have said that.
Well, pre-stroke Coach Corso.
Yeah, but it will be the last one for old Coach Corso. So that'll be sad.
Back to where it started, you know?
Yeah, that's true. We also have Smitty, Sports Talk Media Network. He joins us every single Friday at 4:00. He's a lot of fun. We always have fun talking Clemson and South Carolina with Smitty. I'll do my weekly high school picks at 5:00. And, man, it's going to be a loaded show. Again, shout out to Kaye Hendrix for joining us just a few minutes ago. Also, thanks to Jordan Kaye of the state newspaper. But Diesel football's here tonight, and Boise State could be, if they're not careful, the first team to be upset in week 1 of college football season.
Yeah, if you missed that Jordan Kaye interview, it's up on the free Odyssey app. You can check that out. You can also use the rewind function on the free Odyssey app to go back and find it. We're also available, our podcast now available on the iHeartRadio app and the TuneIn app. So we are everywhere, Cole. So much action tonight. We're just getting started. Without counting, there's probably 15, 20 games on tonight. Excited for all of them. Good one coming up at 9:00. Nebraska, Cincinnati.
Let's go.
Tolos. We'll be back tomorrow.